Hello and welcome to the Computer Game Show. My name's David Turner. I'm here with Sean Bell,
Hello.
Matt Murray,
Hello there.
and returning to the show after a nice long break, it's James Farley.
Hello. It was a nice break.
It
Was it
was a
actually?
nice break.
Yeah.
Well, it must have been. I saw photos of him smiling.
Yeah.
Do
That's
you know
true.
what I mean? Like that.
Yeah,
And it
but not
wasn't
only in the
isolated.
Japan bit, not the Shanghai bit.
Yeah, no, just the Japan bit. And what was great is that I said the last time I see you smile like that, James, was when you were last in Japan. Have you ever thought about moving to Japan?
Do you know, when we were there this time, I did think about it slightly.
Yeah.
And then,
Hey
but
kids, want to learn another language?
exactly,
Come
that
on,
was the
let's-
thing, because I voiced the idea, like,
Wee.
briefly, and then, like, Rachel just went crazy and just,
really?
said, no, that's not
Actually
actually,
stick it. Also, you can't get pepperoni pizzas over there, can you? So
probably not. Probably can.
not worth risking it.
They might call them something slightly different, and that'll just
Oh,
throw
yeah.
the whole thing off.
You can't get cards in shops either.
We have got, I mean, we're laughing and joking, but we have got a very serious subject to cover this week. We would like to formally dedicate this week's show to our listener, Haribo Cart, who sadly lost his battle with cancer last week. We posted out on social media. It was that we found out after we recorded last week's show, which actually made me think. When I listened to the pod last week, I thought, fucking hell, these guys are brutal, because we like put the social media posts out and then we just didn't say anything on the podcast. And I thought, I hate us. But no, that happened after the recording. Harry Bocart was someone we'd spoken about a number of times on the podcast. He used to message in, be it for the show or privately on our social media. And of course, James, I don't know if you knew him before the show, Sean, but
I knew him
myself-
on Realmuck and stuff. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
just
Yes.
everything else aside, I was always like, Haribo Cart is such a fucking good name. I can't,
yeah, it is a good name. And we've known him from Rollmuck, and I believe he was on the Edge forums as well before then. But
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I remember
and-
meeting him at that bath meet and a
met
couple
him
of
at
other
Bath
meets.
Meet. You got the infamous photo that whenever I see his name, I always think of him holding up that Xbox pad. And when we heard the news last week, it was genuinely like a punch to the gut. It was so awful. You know, we've known that he's been struggling for years, and he used to message us about how much he loved the show during some dark times and that, and his messages were always like really lovely to read, and it's actually gutting that we're not going to hear from him again. So our thoughts all week have been with Haribo Cart's family and friends, and we hope you're doing all right. And yeah, we wanted to dedicate the show to him because we're, it hit us like a ton of bricks last week.
Yeah,
So
it really did.
yeah. We also should start the show by announcing our Patreon producers this month. They are Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks chap, Simon Nelson, Moomin Biscuit, Trans Rights to Human Rights, Dave Ernsberger, Colin Brown, Gasman, Rocketman76, Smooth Monkey, John Tempelli, Jackie Sniper, Sam Higton, Thomas, Stan, Philip with an F, Cutty, Steve Lee, Jack Oven, Grey Dragon Claw, Colin the Car Wanker Smith, Lee Keybottom, My Dog Skip, Dean, Evil Mammal, Don Whiskerando, Sir Resna of the Savage True North, and Boza Karma. You may be thinking, it's a bit weird to go so deep and heavy and then straight into that. I think it was because I was about to tear up. So you can have a go at me for handling it that badly as much as you want. I am not having a video of me tearing up out there. All right? Okay, good. Thank you so much.
So I'm getting upset. I need a task. I need just a list to read
Yeah,
out.
promote our Patreon. Quick. Let's get that out there. Patreon.com/TCGS if you'd like to support the show. We've got a few other things to go through before we get to James's feedback from the last 4 shows, which I'm quite excited to hear. Tatton Park Run, what's the update? It's this week, is it?
It's
It
this
is
Saturday, yeah.
This Saturday. So the current total is £1,655. There's definitely a decimal in there. There's pence in there, but I don't think it shows it on the Just Giving page. And thank God, because people have been playing silly pockers with it all week, as predicted. But no, it's been amazing. The amount of donations that have come in and stuff. It's been really, really lovely. People have been unbelievably generous. Now we just have to actually do the thing.
Yes.
It's been a bit funny because in the disc, obviously we'd sort of said, oh yeah, people traveling quite a bit to come and do the run with us and stuff, which is amazing. I say with us, it was the community's idea. Me and Matt have just sort of latched onto it. But then we've all sort of come to this realization that we're all going to go for a run. We're all going to be sweating, absolutely stinking in a park, and it's like, well, we can't just go for a drink now because we're all going to be absolutely humming. So
I think we can, because I think everyone else going for a drink will also be humming. So I'm not really.
Sit outside, sit outside on a bench.
That's true. It's supposed to be raining as well. That'll do the job.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, you must have been like in a pub on a Sunday where the pub football team have come back after their match.
Nope.
All covered in mud. They are
Not once.
filthy boys.
But yeah, we will we'll want to meet up with people, whether that's like pre-run or after. But best to go to our Discord. And then there's a health and fitness channel where those people are discussing about where we could meet. Probably hard to actually properly plan it until we actually get there. But yeah, go to tcgs.co. There's a link to our Discord. Find the health and fitness channel, and yeah, we'll meet a bunch of people on Saturday. Go for a nice little run and maybe have a drink or coffee afterwards. I'm looking forward to it.
We also have the wisest TCGS listener quiz in the Discord. Kurt is hosting. And that's Wednesday night at 8 p.m. and it includes some TCGS themed questions. So go to tcgs.co to join our Discord. There's a link on there, and head on over to Kurt's the wisest TCGS listener quiz. That's Wednesday night at 8 p.m. That's the day this comes out. So what's that? That's the 10th.
It is the 10th, yeah.
September. So
we can join that, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
we were talking about this last week.
We can do whatever the hell we want,
I
James.
don't know, mate. Ask Kurt. Ask Kurt, mate. Don't ask me.
I'll show up. I won't answer any questions. I'll just listen.
I am not associated with this quiz. I want to make that clear, just in case some controversial questions come up. We got a bunch of messages before we get to the feedback. We got a bunch of messages this week that was that really made me. When someone sends in a bit of like a message or whatever, and you go, "That's interesting. I'm going to check that out."
Very rarely.
They were saying, guys, you want to go and listen to the IGN UK podcast this week? So very interesting happened on it. Let's listen in.
Yeah, it'd be dirt. Smell like absolute dirt. What's the last email we've got this week, Matt?
This is from Ben, who says, Hey, IGN crew. Currently, there's a debate going round whether or not chocolate brownies are classed as a snack or as a dessert.
Where is this debate happening?
Amongst his friends, perhaps.
No, not amongst his friends at all. No, not amongst his friends.
On a
podcast.
Yeah.
On a rival podcast. Now, there's a
bigger
few
one.
things. There's a few things before we continue to hear what they have to say about the matter, right? But firstly, instantly we thought it was Ben, right? So we contacted Scientologist. He is adamant it's not him. I'm not convinced, but they're saying it's not him. Why would I lie? Why would I lie? He's saying in the chat right now. Well,
it's a fair question. Why would he hide it?
Shame.
Well, he's been caught out. That's why. He's like stealing content from other places.
Thankfully, I did talk to the guys at IGN and did look at IP addresses. So we might have some.
I'm just laughing at the way they sort of vaguely phrase it. There's a debate going around.
Right.
It's huge right now online. Everyone's discussing it. It's the new dress.
So, Sean, that's where my head was at. Mm-hmm. And I do wonder if the message that was sent in mentioned us. Right?
Oh, and do you think they've taken it out?
And they've gone, we're not going to plug another gaming podcast. But imagine, just imagine that's the scenario. Okay, Matt, right? But now listen to this bit again where they've edited it and taken our name out. This would make more sense. Listen.
This is from Ben, who says, Hey, IGN crew. Currently, there's a debate going round whether or not chocolate brownies are classed as a snack or as a dessert.
Where is this debate happening?
Amongst his friends, perhaps.
Clearly.
Right, I'm not convinced, mate. I
Clearly.
am not convinced. I am
There's a
not
weird little gap there,
convinced.
isn't there?
It does sound like there could have
There
been
is
an
a weird
edit
little
point
gap.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that we just got turned over, and not for the first time by a rival gaming podcast.
That's happened
I'm not
before.
going to bring it up because it can cause problems with guests. I'm just saying, people like editing us out of things. That is something.
They're so scared
Anyway,
of us. Just
the hosts go on to say it can be both. So you're listening
Boring.
to the right podcast, is what I'm saying. Look, IGN, if you're scared of us, right? If you're scared of us, that's fine. Don't edit us out of your podcast. We're not editing unless we edit all this bit out. Then
We might do, yeah.
you can do what you want.
yeah, I think we should bleep it every time we mention the I word.
Yeah, Matt's suggesting that shortly after Sean said that he was editing this week.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's get to feedback, shall we, from the last 4 episodes of the computer game show. James Farley, you must have some long
There's
list
gonna be a lot
of
here.
comments.
I mean, even
and,
before this,
I'm
like James,
looking
the
forward to
last time all 4 of us were together was the 30th of July, because you were off like the week before James went off. So it's been a
what
long
were you
time
just
since all 4 of
doing?
us been.
I was just counting how many points I've got. And
How
it's
many
like,
points have you got?
I've got 12. I've got 12 points.
Okay, all right.
I mean, have you
Let's-
like genuinely? Have you been able to listen to all the episodes you missed? Because I know in China it can be dicey in terms of downloading stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I could. It was really annoying because I had to, because Podbean or whatever it is we use is blocks there, so you can't just automatically download it. So I had to use a VPN to do it. And this time I was cheap and I didn't want to pay for a VPN for the time I was there, so I just used my university one instead, and which is really annoying because it means that every single podcast I downloaded had German adverts on it, and so it was like a
Not this
constant
one, though.
reminder. Yeah.
Hang on, yeah,
Ad
sure, not
free,
this
mate.
one.
Yeah,
No, not
this
this one. No, not this one.
Oh, he let
Oh, hang on, what?
Listen to other podcasts, has he?
Oh, might do.
I hope
the
he has
IGN
listened to all the
podcast.
four
Is
other
it?
ones.
But it was quite funny because every single time I went to download it, it was like saying things like, "This is going to take 57 hours to download" and stuff like that. But eventually I just left it on overnight and it was fine.
The beautiful thing about this is that we downloaded Silksong, and James couldn't. It said it was going to take 50 odd hours for him to download Silksong on his Switch, and I sent him a video with mine on the menu screen saying, "Fuck it, I'm going to play something else," and closing the game down just to tweak him, just to piss him off just that little bit.
Was a bit annoying. It was it's quite irritating. But yeah,
James,
but yeah.
what
So
have you got to say for yourself?
I mean, first of all, I know and Imogen were brilliant, although Imogen's wrong about Astrobot, but it's just wrong, about that. But
all right.
but no, they were great. I did
Don't
think,
come in and attack our guests.
well,
I'm going to send this to her.
got
It'll be
to
fuming.
Yeah.
She's gonna
Got to
be-
set the
Someone
record
clip
straight.
it. Someone clip it.
I did think about doing a travel log while I was there,
Oh, yeah.
but
Yeah.
the way that the internet is in China, I wasn't convinced that I could, that the quality level would be at something, that would be suitable for the show. So I
What's
thought
that gonna do?
Yes,
You just
the
record
quality
it
level.
locally
What
and
the
then.
fuck are you talking about? What does that mean?
I didn't want to do it.
Oh,
So-
okay,
Yes, okay.
He's back, guys.
We
He's
got that. We got that.
What I love about that is that no one was asking you to do it, and,
Yeah.
and you didn't need to say that you wanted to do it.
But
so
I did-
For
I did-
some reason.
I did
I was
briefly
gonna do
think
it.
about it. I did briefly
did you?
think about it, and I just thought it would be very good. And so I thought, no, it won't be at the right quality. So it's
Okay.
best not do that.
Okay, you
So
say
that's something you
excuse a
didn't
lot.
do.
Yeah. One of the things I did like the news rotation, and I think you all did an adequate job.
Thank you.
Adequate.
I was happy with adequate, to be
adequate.
honest with you. I'm happy with
I think
adequate.
we smashed it, actually.
Totally
really well.
adequate. Matt, you're wrong about Galaxy being better than Odyssey. But then also the other
No,
thing
no,
about
no, I didn't say it's better. I just said I preferred it.
well, okay, you're still wrong about that. That's-
Well, no, I can be
No,
right saying
I'm
I
not
preferred it.
getting
I
into
can be
another-
right saying I preferred it because that's everyone's point of view, isn't it?
Look, I'm not getting into another argument with you about where you just basically say, "Well, I like it." It's because that's.
But I mean, I've got that. That's quite a big point, isn't it? Like, the question was which one do you like, and I said I like this one.
But the thing is, I'm not convinced that you've ever gone beyond surface level on a Mario game anyway.
Right, okay. Now we get to the
What's
point.
that mean?
Now we get to
We've got 12
Matt,
points to get through.
now we get into the point, right? And this is always, it feels a bit awkward. I don't think James thinks you have the credentials to have an opinion
100%,
on what
yeah, there's
a better
definitely
Mario
that, yeah.
game is.
I don't know because as
Just
I
that
said,
I didn't own a NES or SNES, and
Matt, I saw you trying to play Mario like on stream, and it's like this is why I'm not, and this is also why I can't trust your opinions on Donkey Kong either, because I just don't. When
What?
it
It's a
comes,
7 out of 10. It's
That's a
fine.
different
it's
game.
not a fucking 7 out of 10, and it's because you barely played it. It's just like
I
it's
finished
just,
it.
That's not. That's
I
no,
finished
you
the
haven't.
game.
You
No,
haven't
that is-
finished it.
I
But
didn't
it's-
100% it, but I think finishing the game is enough to say, yeah, here's my opinion.
But that's the same as saying the same thing for like Mario Odyssey, and it's like you're
Yeah,
saying, "Oh
and
yeah, I just
that's
got
a
to
fucking
the end
amazing
of that."
game.
I don't agree with you there. I think the post game stuff in Mario Odyssey is a lot more essential than the post game stuff in
Yeah, because that's
Donkey
what the
Kong
real
Bonanza.
challenge is. That's what it's, brilliant. But this, I don't know. I finished it, I was like, it's fine. I enjoyed it, but I'm not going to go back.
Okay,
James, what series would you trust Matt's opinion on?
This would be good.
Sega Rally.
Just
Okay,
Sega Rally,
anything
that's
else?
it, is it?
That's real good. That's nice. Okay, anything else, James?
Games.
No, this
What's that?
but lots of things, but just not platformers. I just don't trust him on platformers at all.
Why?
Don't trust him. He's in the room.
Yeah, I'm literally here, James. Like, I played the fuck out of Super Mario Land on Game Boy. Just didn't have a NES or SNES to play the original Mario's at a time, and then since like GameCube, I'm playing them all. So what's the issue?
How much of Sonic have you played, Matt?
Well, I played Sonic 1 and 2, a little bit 3, but like they haven't really been that great, have they, recently? And so I need to have played all the Sonic games as well to have an opinion on Mario games.
No, you need to have played a significant number of platform games to have an opinion.
What? So if I haven't played as much as you need me to play, I can't talk about how Donkey Kong is.
Well, no, you can't talk about it if you haven't played very much of it. You know,
But I
And
have
if you-
finished Donkey Kong.
Yeah, but you haven't finished Donkey Kong, Matt.
I've finished
you've
the
got
campaign.
You got through to the end, but that's
you-
it.
I'm
I'm on
to go
Matt's
100%.
side with this one. I'm
I've
on
done
Matt's
100%
side
every
with this
game.
one.
I'm not a psychopath like you.
You don't have to 100% it, but you need to go and do some of the post game stuff, like to get an idea. I really think you need to play more.
I
more
think
of that.
me playing the entire game without the post game stuff, that's enough for me to have an opinion. It's a 7 out of 10.
Listen, guys. I think that's point 2 of 12.
Yeah, no good. I'm ready.
Okay, next point was that sorry, Matt, this is another one. But I do have to
It's
agree.
because you're scared of like going against David and Sean.
No,
Quit.
this is the
I'm sure,
problem,
I'm
right?
sure we'll get our turn, don't worry.
This is the problem because I'm actually
will
agreeing with
surely.
David here. This next one is agreeing with him about the whole restarting Halo thing.
Okay.
Like about it's like saying, we need
Oh
to
god,
restart.
yeah. We have this argument with Matt every single time. Matt wants to go back to the start again, and our point is they do that every fucking time, and it never works.
I'm
out.
saying I think they probably will because whatever they did last time didn't seemingly work, did it?
Yeah, but it's every single time they're like, we're getting back to basics with this one. We're going back
They
to
do.
that.
Yeah, and
it's
it will
the same
happen
that.
again because that's just what happens these days. That will happen again 100%.
I think you're
should-
reframing.
Oh,
that
I
with you.
definitely go open world because they tried last time and didn't fully, live out the vision that we might have all hoped for an open world Halo game.
Yeah, but our point is
And they're
open
like, we listen
world.
to the fans. They want, a refined, defined single player experience with incredible multiplayer. I think that's what we want to say.
But we're talking about two different things. Whether it's open world or a linear shooter, it's irrelevant. Like when we're talking about going back to basics, we're talking about trying to recreate that combat and that feeling from the first game. Whereas I think James and I are trying to say
you and
they
I
need to scrap
discussed this-
that and start again.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
need to new weapons.
They are
new-
never going
it's
to be able to
complete-
capture it again.
It's almost like
No,
the
of course they're
combat
not.
needs to evolve. Sorry.
Next point. Fuck you. I don't want to be on your side anymore. I was
Jesus.
ruined.
Shenmue 3 is an embarrassment. Yeah, that's. It
Did
was
we even
that
talk
was
about it, or
think
do you just
about-
want to get that in?
I wanted to get that in because
No,
I've
because
still-
we spoke about when they're redoing the third game for some
Oh,
reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's coming out on Switch, I think. And is it coming out on Switch?
Fucking hell.
I think it might be, or Switch 2 or whatever.
It's coming out.
Presumably
everything,
the first
yeah.
two then will come onto Switch. So
Yeah, I
release it
think
as a
so.
trilogy, right?
They'll probably release those as well. But that was such a
Unfinished
disappointment,
trilogy.
that game. It was really bad.
The unfinished trilogy, yeah. Yeah.
Next one, I didn't go to private school. After that, we've got I'd be well up. So also, I would be well up for Gamescom next year.
Yes, mate.
That would be brilliant.
Let's
I
do
think
it.
that'd be well worth doing, and it'd be quite
I
funny.
just hope that you move back a month before it starts.
Because James is going to translate everything for us, Dave.
Oh yeah.
Every
Absolutely no
restaurant,
problem.
we're like, you do it. You do
Absolutely no
I
problem.
just cannot wait to go to a restaurant with James and the waiter go, no, we do pepperoni, but what are you talking about? It's everywhere.
And
Do you
he's
wanna
like, no,
fuck?
you wouldn't understand. I live here. You wouldn't understand, mate. It's different for you.
We also said sell Father's Day cards till 11 o'clock.
Yeah, look, there's supermarkets over there. It's 9 p.m.
Go on.
Next one. Also, I mean, David, you were 100% right about the Antiques Roadshow.
It's fucking banging, isn't it?
And the thing is, I don't watch it, but if I did, the reason you gave for watching it is 100% the reason I'd watch it. Would be to see
the
people's
face of
dreams
them
being
being
crushed.
told it's worth $5,000, but they think it's worth 100 is hilarious.
Yeah,
Because they have to pretend to be ecstatic with that, and they're not. They're
do
not.
do you get the whole sort of like, oh, that's really good.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
That's the
Wow.
one you hear. No, and you go, "Well, that's not real." It's just like a tear rolling down your face. It's a good show.
In last week's show, I think it was last week's show, there was a bit. It felt to me like it kind of got lost, where Sean, you kept on trying to correct David's pronunciation of Sekiro. And you like pronounce
When was that?
because he said it weird
No.
like several times.
No, I tell you exactly what it was. Yeah, I said it weird about 4 times, but I kept changing. I kept like correcting myself. It wasn't
funny
Sean.
'cause-
It was me.
no, because in the background you could hear Sean saying Sekiro, like,
I
saying
see
like
it.
several times.
I genuinely don't remember this at all.
It was quite funny.
It just happens on automatic now, Sean.
Yeah.
Lamborghinis should be yellow.
right.
And the last one, the Master Chief cameo thing. I've got no idea what the problem is with that. I thought it was a
Thank
nice
you,
gesture.
James. Holy
wrong with
shit,
that?
you're
There's
on
no
my side.
problem with it.
Frick.
Yeah.
It was just the way Dave was like, "Oh, but isn't that amazing though?" That he's like,
No, it's nice.
Yeah,
It's just, I don't know what the problem is there. It's nice.
there is
I thought
no
it was.
problem.
No,
No, it
it's
sounds like a problem.
it's not the same as someone just saying off their own back. Oh, like
No,
listen
it's
to
not the same.
TCGS.
If he,
Yep,
if
you're
he
right.
actually, like tweeted, like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I listened to this podcast." It's,
That would be
Yeah,
unbelievable.
oh god,
yeah.
that would be unbelievably
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
wouldn't it? But that doesn't make this shit.
We didn't say shit. We just said it's. I don't know. It's just.
it's not what.
It doesn't give you the same, excitement that it would be
It's
if
not-
he said it
no,
off his own
of
back.
course not. But if
Okay,
you,
we're all
if you
agreeing
get like
then.
if you sorry about that, if you get like a I don't know, if you get a free donut, you don't go, oh, it's a bit shit. I wanted a steak and chips. Like you don't. You go, no, fucking hell, I got a free donut.
What if someone gives
Look
you
at
a
that.
muffin and you're like, "Oh, chocolate chip muffin, brilliant," and then you get closer and like, "Oh, it's raisins."
But it's not though. It's not raisins.
Yeah, but it's still free.
Still a muffin. Still a free muffin. I'll still eat it. I just. It's just.
It is still
Dave
free
said
muffin.
it was chocolate chip.
is still free
and now
muffin. I've always said that.
the worst
Still
part of this
free
whole thing is that we
muffin,
all
write it down.
adore Kurt, and it was such
Yeah.
a nice thing for him to do.
Yeah, and you shout on it. Look, here we go. Listen, for those of you that haven't heard it,
This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief, Sierra 117, with a shout out to David and his pals Matt, Sean, and James. And a big shout out to all the TCGS fans out there. Thanks for living it, guys. And remember to finish the fight. Master Chief, out.
amazing.
Yeah, the
brilliant.
start and end of that. Do you think? Does he have to do the same on every message? Do you think?
Almost
Always has to
certainly.
start with- Yeah,
Almost certainly. Yeah.
Yeah, I like he's edited badly, so it goes, okay, next one. just well, I liked it, Kurt. I don't know what's wrong with those two.
Yeah, me too.
Is that it, James?
It's pretty much it. Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed them. They were good shows, and I'm really happy to be back. It's
good to have you back. There is part of it, isn't it? Like you think,
Is it?
yeah, because he agreed with me all the way through that. I can't believe it. I got off lightly
I'm friends
there.
with David
Holy
now.
shit.
I'm scared if I came back with feedback, he'll moan at me.
Right.
I mean,
Listeners, can you tell that we're headed towards the Gotti show? Because this is starting to really already get a little bit
I mean-
bitter and...
Well, I mean, obviously we're going to be talking about Silksong this episode. I'm looking forward to hearing Matt's opinions about that because it's got quite a lot of platforming in it. It's so.
What, are you
Well, the
looking forward
bigger-
to it, or are you going to write off his
what's wrong with that?
opinions, James?
Like what? So what? I mean, I played like Celeste. You didn't really care about that either. I guess my thoughts on
Yeah, that's
Celeste.
true. That is true. That's fair enough. But
Just go and play some shitty Sonic games. I didn't have
shitty
didn't have
Sonic
NES.
games. Hang on, are you not one of
Yes,
those people
James.
that's like Sonic was never good? Are you? Because if you are, you're an
No,
idiot.
I said I like the first two, and after that, come on.
The third one was very
Okay.
good. Yeah.
All right. Let's move on.
Super Metroid, you couldn't jump.
Let's
Well,
get
I
to
That's
did.
true.
the.
There was some...
Well, there is
Yeah, I
a
mean,
part of
them controls
Silksong that
were
I'm really
wank.
interested to hear how Matt got on with. Actually, there is an area of Silksong that I'm
probably not
quite
there yet.
fascinated. Okay, let's get to the feedback from our listeners, shall we?
Yes, Crazy Cat Clara's message. Just listened to the latest episode. Heard my vinegar question had been read out. Really glad that you enjoyed it. It was even better to hear that Matt say it was a great question. That's made my day. I've been going through a difficult time recently, and this podcast just makes it that much better. I don't remember who started these A Situation Has Occurred questions, but it's become a staple of TCGS, so I just wanted to have a go. I hope whoever sends them in keeps them coming. Thanks, guys. Yours sincerely, Crazy Cat Clara.
That's Kurt as well,
It
isn't
is
it?
It was
Kurt,
Kurt,
although,
yeah.
as we'll hear later, he switched it up this week.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
format,
okay.
of
I'm
course.
quite excited.
Yeah. Go on.
Adam's message, great show as always. Chaps, the best gaming podcast, closely followed by Player One. Regarding David's Helldivers chat, it's always rolled out a difficulty like that. It all depends on who is host. You have access to difficulty that the host ship has done. We all started on difficulty 1 and worked up. Regarding performance, the latest update, which launched this week, has introduced lots of issues impacting performance, and Arrowhead are aware, so hopefully sorted soon. Yeah. So when you said you had yours play on easy, what, I guess because you all started the
I can
game.
only assume. Yeah, I can only assume that when I started on this version, I was playing with people that were on the same level as me. But when I started on the PS5, I must have been playing people that had already been playing it for a while. Because I definitely didn't start on easy on PS5. Because holy shit, it is not a good game on easy. Like, I don't know why they've got easy as an option there. And I'm all for accessibility and making things available for everyone should be able to play games and stuff. It's not even that. It's like, it was literally like we were running around the planet going, this is just actually boring. Nothing's happening. Like, it just does not represent what's so good about that game. I haven't got it in my what you've been playing, but I have been playing it a lot this week, and holy shit. Oh my god, we were playing with a level 158 guy last week, and it's a completely different game when you're playing it on that level. It's unreal. What a game. Play Helldivers is fucking great. Okay.
Stephen, all right, gents, I'll leave off with the pretend HR bollocks this time. As you asked, I've updated the pod attendance spreadsheet. It was supposed to be a bit of light-hearted fun, so I wasn't chuffed to hear James took it personally. Sorry, big fella. Anyway, we have a load of numbers here. I won't go through all of them, but I guess a big one. I mean, we were asking about James's attendance this year. Currently, that's 80%.
But look at the overall average.
Well, I'll get to that.
Yeah, that also puts you at the bottom, James.
I know, but I know, but it's still quite a big number, so I'm happy with that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm surprised at some of this. I don't think I've had the same amount of shows off as Sean this year, but we're both on 94%.
I don't know. That feels about right, is it not? Why?
Does
Who
it?
do you think has had more off?
Me? Because
Okay.
didn't I had 2 shows off recently, I think, didn't I? I can't remember. It is hard to remember. It did say that Sean was on 100. You're the only one that's achieved 100%, and that was back in
Year
2020.
Yeah.
There are some interesting numbers here. I mean, the ones that I'll go through very briefly. James has been bottom 2025, 2024,
Well, every year.
2023,
Yeah.
2022. Oh yeah, 2021. Oh yeah, it is every year.
Every year.
Well, since 2020.
I've just no, because this only goes back to 2020. Because I was going to say, oh well, I'll be 100% because I was the last one to have a child, but no, Isaac was already 3 by that point. So
yeah, and the other 2 had their children before this show started, I think. Right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But average, do you want to go through the average, Matt?
Yeah. So we've got stats on 2020 to 2025, but the main one is the average overall, which is in bottom, I'm afraid, it's James with 89% attendance. Since, so that's over the last 5 years. Then me with 94%,
I'm
Then-
surprised by that. I thought you'd be top, actually, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, I guess between work and life stuff, I don't know. I guess I must have missed more than I thought.
you had the fallow period, which we'll
Yes.
refer to it as
And
from Matt Murray.
then, so I'm 94, Sean with 95, and David with 96%. These are the overall stats for attendance. So, I mean, okay.
They call me the mean one.
But again, as even Manuel says in the chat, yeah, if this was school, we would all be getting told off, frankly. With those
right.
sorts of things.
96%.
I'm aiming for 90. I think that's just going to bump it up a bit. You know?
Okay, all right.
I mean, you've got 10% to go on this year. It's got a lot to move that percentage up a bit. But I thought it was interesting. The number of 4-man shows. So in 2020, only 86% of the shows were 4-man. Then 82 in 2021. In 2022. Only 62% of the shows were 4-man shows.
That's dreadful.
That is bonkers.
You know what that is? You know why that is? Because we were in lockdown in 2020, 2021. 2022 was party time, baby.
Yeah,
Wasn't
that when
out.
James moved to Germany as well?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that probably doesn't help.
I probably brought it down, didn't it? Yeah, and then 23, 74%, 64% again in 2024, and this year we're currently at 66%.
That's bad. I reckon
very
that'll
low,
jump up
doesn't
to 70. No, yeah, but we have had quite a few, yeah, no. And
I suppose, because obviously it's very rare for two of us to take the same week off. So even though individually it doesn't look that bad, it could add up to that 66% because
bad.
Also,
all
the
different
2025 stat doesn't work because we've just finished like the holiday period where most of us take time off. We've got a big chunk of the year left, and there'll be way more performance shows. So that'll go up. I'm not too worried.
Yeah, big stuff.
Thanks for the attendance record. That is
love that.
brilliant
Thank you, Stephen. Stephen continues a feedback on Hiccup chat from last week. A mate told me the trick is to not just hold your breath, but actually breathe in until your lungs are at capacity and keep sucking air in until you physically can't anymore, and hold that for as long as possible. The logic being that hiccups are contractions of the diaphragm, so you don't give that prick any room to maneuver. Works for me anyway, and preferable to vinegar or gagging, especially if you're a good few pints deep.
See, that's what I've always done.
Yeah, same.
and it's usually worked for me.
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't always work for me. It's failed for me on a number of times, and when it does fail, that is it. You're locked in. So you got to watch yourself, is what I'm saying. Watch yourself out there. Your hiccups, don't want them to last all night.
No, man. Enemy of the show, Spriss Chan has messaged. I think this is definitely Chris Span, or maybe not, who knows. Feedback from the most recent episode of the show, especially for Sean. I'm the author of all your pain. I make Spotify sound fuzzy. I made Chrome 60 gig in your RAM. I asked Capcom to make Monster Hunter Wilds really boring for long time Monster Hunter fans. I specifically defunded local authorities' roads departments. Just you keep mentioning the other guy and see what more I can do. Cost Porter Pros, a health scare, sugar, banned over 14s, Steam Neckfest, only playable for Amazon Luna. Also, hi Matt, James, and Dave. Hope you're well.
Oh, hi there.
It's like a poem, that was.
It's
beautiful,
good.
isn't it?
Yeah, I love that.
Hi, Yoda.
And we're going to end with God, who has messaged. Not a fan of yours either, Matthew Montgomery Murray. It's not
I missed
actually.
this. A lot of people were quoting you last week, Matt. You said something like, I'm not a fan of God or something.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it?
Flipping that in, are you?
All right, Ricky Gervais.
I'm just saying, what's he done for me? That is it for feedback. Go to tcgs.co to leave your feedback.
Oh, God, it's so nice to have our news guy back. James, I'll never take the piss out of you in the news again. I'm so sorry. Let's get to the news.
Okay, so the first bit of news-
Boring. I'm joking. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just joking. I'm going to give it a little. Welcome back. It's good to have you.
Thanks. Are you going to do that again when I start speaking in a second?
You'll find out in a second, won't you?
Okay, all right, okay. So, first bit of news, Hollow Knight Silksong, the launch has broken, global game storefronts. This is from gamesindustry.biz. So, apparently Nintendo had to take their store offline briefly. I suffered from that. Then also Steam had something went wrong error messages. And for some people on PSN, the game didn't even appear. And then also on Xbox Game Pass, some people had problems downloading the game. And according to SteamDB, the game is one of the biggest of all time in terms of concurrent player users and stuff, and it seems to be doing very well.
Sorry, Matthew. owe you an apology, don't I?
Yeah. Because the day or so before, I was like, I want to download this early because I really think the eShop's going to fall over. And you're like, no, there's been way bigger games, Animal Crossing, Mario games. And I was like, okay. And then in the end, I didn't. And then I found out I couldn't have done anely because there was no preloading. So,
well, because this is the problem, isn't it? Because I know, like Dave, you were saying, like, is it really this big? Like, I don't get. And like,
yeah,
there is a bit of that. Like, it is huge, but also, yeah, it's the fact that you could not pre-order it, you couldn't pre-download it, you couldn't pre-pay for it. So all that activity was all focused on that one point. Because usually, when if you know a game's coming out, you want it, you do the payment, you do the download, whatever beforehand, and then it just unlocks.
So why didn't they do that? Is there any reason being given for not?
Is this
doing
because
that?
because I know they talked about they weren't giving it to journalists because they didn't want anyone getting it before like Kickstarter backers. So I guess it was all synchronized to all go live at the same time as Kickstarter backers. I don't think they would have done this as a cynical marketing thing.
No,
if it was a cynical marketing thing, it's worked. But I think they did it quite innocently. I mean, it's interesting because Steam is weird in that, like every other platform, like the traditional, common knowledge has always been you get as many pre-orders in as possible because on day one, all those pre-orders count as day one sales, and then your game shoots up the charts. Do people still look at the charts? I'm not sure. But, you might get a headline, oh, like X number of people bought it day one, like brilliant opening weekend, whatever. Steam don't usually do that. They, like, if you're a developer, the advice Steam give you is you can let people wish list your game, don't take pre-orders, and then on launch day, put like a 10% discount on it. And apparently they've got all the spreadsheets that show that is better. So this is how Steam generally do it. So it is actually quite remarkable that Silksong has still made it collapse. I think Deltarune do the same thing. I'm not really tuned into like Deltarune and
I mean,
I know it's
regarding
larger concurrent numbers in Deltarune because some people are saying it won't be beating Deltarune, but it has.
I mean, regarding the preloading stuff, is that because they're worried that if it was preloaded, people would somehow manage to get into it or something?
Maybe
I don't think so because especially on the eShop. I mean, as I said, people would be doing that to other games that you can preload on. Pretty much most of the games, right? You can preload on eShop. So you would imagine that if that was a very common thing to do, then we'd know about it and we'd see, people playing Donkey Kong Bonanza before it come out and all that sort of stuff. It'd be a regular occurrence.
I really think it's probably their commitment to Kickstarter backers. They probably say that you'll be the first one to download this game.
Yeah.
And it's probably that.
Yeah, and let's face it, it took the stores down, but not for long. I mean, literally 20 minutes and the eShop was back up. I mean, the article here says Xbox Game Pass subscribers struggled. I was able to download that before on the Xbox before I was able to download it on the Switch. So it wasn't down for long. I don't know about Steam, but I did wildly underestimate this game. I mean, I knew the first game did really well. I think it sold around 15 million, which is huge, especially for an indie game. But for any game, really, those are big numbers. But there are bigger games out there. So hearing that this had such a disruptive impact on digital downloads, that's I was surprised.
It's the payment processes as well. I believe we're struggling. So it might be, whatever storefront you're on might have been working, but then as you're trying to actually pay for the fucking thing, you were just getting error messages.
Yeah, I had that. So after the store wouldn't load, then the store would load, and then it was just like a blank. But I can hear trailer music playing on the Silksong eShop page, and then I eventually got through. It crashed. I got through, brilliant, but then there was no access to the game, and I thought it's going to ask me to buy the game again, isn't it? But thankfully, it must have rectified it in the back end, and it just it said buy again, but it was fine. Didn't charge me.
Like on that, I suppose it is quite remarkable that these things, despite everything that went wrong, clearly the systems are robust enough to it doesn't sound like any sales were just sort of mysteriously lost. Do you know what I mean? Like you would think that would be a risk when they're being innovated, but the fact that it basically seems to have worked out is actually quite amazing. But
The other thing that really surprised me is just how cheap it was. I could not believe a game that has been in development for so long.
We didn't know the UK price, did we? We knew what it was in euros and dollars, but there was no sterling.
Well,
price,
I've got it on Game Pass.
Okay,
I'd prefer to play it on Switch, and I was like, well, I didn't play Hollow Knight. I'm not convinced that I'm going to like it, so I won't bother on the Switch too. And then when I saw it was like 17 quid or whatever, £17.50, I was like, yep, I will. That's a better place to play, isn't it? So
yeah, I was convinced it was going to be gaming's first $100 game, but
I hate that phrase. That is going to be a thing, isn't it? Gaming's first $100 game. Shut up. Like, I'm not going to go you, James, but like I've heard that so many places, it makes me sick at this point.
I mean, I tweeted that as a joke, and someone replied and just said, "I'll take that bet."
Was it Matt? Was it Matt trying to get you back?
So was joking.
As Digifo says in the chat, good test for when GTA 6 launches, and I did think that that's gonna be crazy. The difference in there is that there will be preloading and stuff, but even so,
staggered release,
things will be going down. I think when that launches, just so it's gonna be it's gonna be ridiculous, isn't it? But it was exciting
really
for 20 minutes.
Cannot wait.
Event.
Okay, next story is that Take-Two were apparently going to fund and publish Perfect Dark. This is from gamesindustry.biz as well, and they've got this from Bloomberg, who apparently the leadership from the initiative and Crystal Dynamics spent 2 months in negotiations with what they said were multiple parties. Like, there were lots of people that were kind of interested in this, but then this led to a potential deal with Take-Two. But it didn't happen because apparently the sticking point was the long-term ownership of the Perfect Dark as like a franchise, like who would own it afterwards, and that's why Microsoft didn't go for it.
Because if Microsoft are demonstrating they don't want to do anything with it, but they're just like, oh no, we won't let you have the license because we might change our minds one day.
But Microsoft like to own things, don't they?
They do,
and it's like whether they're going to do anything with it. But also, I mean, the other reason for them probably not wanting to do it is, imagine if this came out like not that far, down the road under Take-Two, it would make Microsoft look really stupid.
Yeah, it would.
And I don't think that they would probably want that. If it's like, how is it that another publisher manages to get this out and they couldn't? So that would be another reason I'd have thought for maybe not wanting to let it go.
Yeah,
it's a shame because that trailer looked good. We're not 100% sure how much was truly real in that trailer, but it looked great, and it was really exciting when they announced or re-announced it. So it's a shame that we're never going to see that now.
I think it's also a weird sort of thing to think that a new Perfect Dark would be amazing. And you've got to remember that there was only one good Perfect Dark.
What I played of the old ones, I didn't really get on with them.
I was a massive fan, but I did play Zero, and my word, that was dreadful. It's one of those that you worry is like one of those legacy titles where everyone's like, oh no, but come on. And then when they actually do something with it, you go. So I don't know how I feel about this. I'd rather if Take-Two, I'd rather a new IP and Take-Two, have their own look at things. I don't understand why anyone would be battling to bring Perfect Dark back. I think there was a lot of noise when it was announced, I think, and it's always good to have like the first step, like a good foundation to build your marketing off of. Like, if you've got enough people excited about the name Perfect Dark, that's great. But really, how much of a better game is it going to be? I do wonder, what that license is going to add to a game in 2025.
I mean, but when we watched that trailer, David, you said it looked amazing. And it
did look good. It did look good. I like the idea of like a real sort of gadget-based espionage style first-person shooter. But it looked good as a concept. It was nowhere near a game at that point, though, was it? And I don't know. It's a strange one. It is a strange one. If they announced a Perfect Dark was coming out this year, I think I'd be excited about it. And I don't really know why. I think that's where I'm at with things.
It's more a case of like, it is a shame that it seems that like Microsoft have bought so much stuff, and now it looks like they're just going to sit on it all because they're not going to, nothing's going to happen with it. I mean, the joke has always been like, they're going to do another Tenchu, that's going to be one of those, and it's like, no, they're not.
No, they're not.
That's
Absolutely
that's definitely not going to happen. It's just, I don't know. It's just a shame that they're holding all that IP, and then it's going to be probably never going to be anything done with it.
For sure.
Bit of a tangent. Speaking of spy games, anyone watch the 007 First Light?
I've seen clips of people reacting to it. I've
yeah?
not actually watched the trailer yet, no.
I saw a car chase which looked pretty good.
The car chase.
I thought the car chase looked ropey.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I think it looks cool overall. But I think that bit just looked. I felt
was
like
the thing
the
with
car was
the-
just going really slow.
Do you know
It
what,
was,
Matt?
yeah.
It
It was
reminded me of the Mafia games. I thought, is this the old country? When I first saw it come up on my TikTok or whatever. So I'm kind of with you. It does look a bit like...
Just the car bits looked a bit weird and slow and ropey. But I mean, I'm interested.
The only thing
in
that
what
bothered
they
me
do.
with the car bit, so for those who haven't seen it, there's a car chase.
yeah, I don't know if you picked up on that.
Spoilers. But it was like the whole thing was that you as the player are finding all the shortcuts to try and gain on the person you're chasing. And it's just like he was like doing shortcut after shortcut after, and it just wasn't making any difference. The other car was exactly the same distance away. So you're like, right, this is all completely fudged then. But other than that, I was interested. The sort of Hitman-ish bits looked much more Hitman than I thought they would.
Yeah, same, yeah. You could
like-
really see where they put the Hitman stuff in there. can't you?
Yeah. But I'm all right with it. It seems like it'd be a nice, like it's Hitman, but then there's a cool driving bit, or maybe a shit driving bit, who knows? And then a shooty bit, and then back to Hitman again. Yeah, I think that'll be a nice little rhythm. But we'll see.
We're still interested in it for sure.
All right.
Okay. Next story is that the PS5 Digital Edition in Europe is getting a downgrade in terms of storage. So it was a terabyte, but it's going back down to 825 gigabytes, which is what the original one had, right?
Oh,
like
was
the
it?
original model.
Okay.
I think it was, it was around that much. And so this will be changing from the 13th of September, and it's going to, it'll cost the same price. It's not, there's no price increases or anything like that. But the standard PS5
I mean, there is. It's
console-
just hidden.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what this is. I mean, the standard like PS5 console is still going to have the 1 terabyte. So this is just for the digital edition. I mean, the speculation here is that this is because it's so that there aren't further price increases and they're like cutting back or whatever. But I don't know. It's just
Sad though, isn't it?
it's another example of this generation being really fucked. Really, like in terms of prices haven't gone down; they've gone up. You see, it does feel like. Maybe it must be because of the architecture of these machines and the fact that in the past it was just like the manufacturers managed to like shrink things down because they designed the boards or whatever, whereas now it's all like off the shelf parts or whatever.
That's
And,
true.
No, I'm not convinced it's that. I think it's more that everything has gone up. Like everything. Rent has gone up. So where they're storing these things is more expensive now. Shipping has gone up. So shipping them across the world is more expensive. Everything has gone up, and that company. This is why my Mars bars are half the size as they were, and still cost the same.
But what's the difference of shipping or storing
25p.
What's the difference in shipping and storing a terabyte hard drive versus an 825 gig?
Open one up, and sometimes it had white chocolate on it, like it was where it melted and it just didn't taste right. No. Sorry, Matt. What were you saying?
Yeah. So what's the difference between shipping and storing a terabyte hard drive versus an 825 gig hard drive?
Well, none, but it just offsets the costs.
It's
somewhat,
more, yeah.
doesn't it?
So putting smaller hard drives in them saves a certain amount of money per unit, and when they're trying to save every last penny that they can at the moment. And
do you know, I was really hoping, David, you were going to go. It's physically smaller.
Lighter. You can carry more of
Less
them at
gigs.
once. You can,
and I think you can't shy away from it. They can do this stuff now because the competition is not there, and let's just do what we can. People, the mainstream do not give a shit about it having 200 less megabyte of, and if that saves what, £1 per unit that they're selling over Christmas, it's worth them saving it, I guess. It just feels shit as a consumer because we are royally getting screwed.
It's mad,
there is no doubt about it.
It's just the sort of the realization that's like, so they've put the price up. They know they wouldn't get away with doing that again. What we didn't expect them to do was make the thing worse. Like it's like, there's another angle they can fuckers from. It's brilliant.
This is why, like, according to I mean, this is from VGC, and it's like they're saying it's the PS5 Digital Edition. Yeah, it costs €100 more than it did at launch, at this point, which is just crazy. But that's the case.
It is
especially because I remember the 825 one that launched with the console. I'm very sure you can only really use that 660 anyway because of
because the
OS and stuff. So I mean, what's that? That's like 1.5. Well, okay, it's probably 3 Call of Duties basically. That's it.
And I am specifically talking about the main Mars bar and not the Duo bars. I'm talking about the actual Mars bar ones. They are smaller than what they used to be. And when
smaller,
you open up and they are white, it is disappointing. Just want to get that. I just want to get that across. It is disappointing.
What do you think about when you open a bag of crisps and you have less than half the bag? Dave, you got thoughts about that?
It makes me sick, Matt.
Yep. No, I'm with you there, man.
It's annoying. But then occasionally you do get one of those crisps that is way too over flavored because they haven't got the balance right. And I call that a bonus, Matt. I call that a little
treat, isn't it?
tea bonus for that one. Yeah,
do you when you see, because you can usually tell, can't you, when you see one of those crisps? Because it's usually
I'm fucking loving this line of questioning, boys. I got to say, I am loving this. Go on, you can usually tell.
Yeah,
100%.
Because the color on the crisp is obviously a lot, sort of deeper, because it's been overdone. Do you save that for the end of the bag, or do you?
Is that
I whack
pudding?
it straight, my god! I whack it straight, my god, boy. Yeah, straight in.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the green ones?
Because what if you've miscalculated the colour? How disappointed would that be? I'll leave that to the end. You pop it in as a normal one. You go.
Do you know what I found out recently?
Go on.
M&Ms, right? There's an apostrophe on M&Ms, right? And I noticed this years ago, and I was like, so it's not plural. It's they belong to M&M. But who's M&M? It's I think it was Murray and Mars, 2 guys that came up with them. There you go.
I thought it was the little blue fella that's in bed with the woman in
Sadly
the commercials. Okay, all right. Well, learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't want to.
Why is one of the M&Ms sexy? What's that about? Why did they have to make a slightly sexy one?
I mean, something has to be, Matt.
Why not?
Yeah.
Don't know.
Is it confusing you, Matt?
Yeah. Should we turned on or should we hungry or both?
One or both.
Yeah. That's my 2 emotions that I'm allowed to have in life. Can we get on to the next?
Okay.
News story, please.
So Paramount have now signed a deal with Activision to produce a live-action Call of Duty film. Also from GamesIndustry.biz. And I mean, do you want to hear what David Ellison, Paramount chairperson and CEO, has said about this?
This is the same David Ellison from Oracle, right?
It's his son. It's
right,
Larry Ellison's son.
Yes,
Yeah.
sorry, that's right.
Go on.
So he said, from the first Allied campaigns in the original Call of Duty through Modern Warfare and Black Ops, I've spent countless hours playing this franchise that I absolutely love. Being entrusted by Activision and players worldwide to bring this extraordinary storytelling universe to the big screen is both an honour and a responsibility that we don't take lightly. But there's no details on what's happening. Apparently, it's believed that this includes TV and film. So, yeah.
Good. It's weird because in one sense, you sort of think, well, why is it taking this long? But then also, because there are already war films and TV shows, I don't really know what this would do.
Why would you want a fictional one that's
Okay, if I was to guess, there'll be a Call of Duty movie based on the Modern Warfare stuff with Ghost and everyone or whatever his name. The one with
Black Ops TV series.
And a Black Ops TV series. I think that's the way it'll go. I absolutely blew my mind when I saw this come through because I proper what do they call it, Mandela effect.
Oh, yeah.
I was so sure there was a Call of Duty movie already out. I could, and in my head it was played by, because he did a few more films, Jim from The Office.
Yeah.
I thought he was in it, because he's done a few war films, hasn't he? So in my head,
he's done some action thrillers. I don't know, he might have done a war film.
No, he's done a war film. Didn't he do the sniper one?
Is that Matt Damon? Oh, yeah, probably. Who knows? I'm not really. The funniest thing from this isn't this news. It's more the fact that the report that Activision turned down Spielberg to make a Call of Duty movie because Spielberg wants this thing called the famous Spielberg deal where he wants final cut and he wants to control everything. But they're like, no, even though you're one of the greatest directors of all time, we won't do that. I mean, I think they probably should have done.
You might make him take his mask off at some point. I really hope they do that, because I don't know if you search for what is it? It's Ghost, right? That's the character from Call of Duty that wears the mask. Mate, some of the cutscenes within it are there's some of the funniest things I've ever seen in a video game. There's like a real serious conversation about war and politics, like in the back of a van, and it pans over and there's a guy sitting there with a skull mask on, and you go, God, come on, this is a joke. I really, really hope they keep him in the game, to be honest with you. Right, okay. That's enough Call of Duty bashing, because I actually quite like that series. So
in my head, I was thinking like, what would, like, if they do like Sonic, where the first version of Sonic is so bad they have to redo it, what would the first version of the Call of Duty movie look like? Like, we've got to scrap this. It looks like Sonic, same kind of weird teeth.
Are you talking about Sonic to try and get some cred with James Farley?
No.
Big fan.
James is a twat.
I reckon the trailer would just be a recreation of No Russian.
Get
this wrong.
That's going to be in there.
No, it can't be in there. It can't be in there. No. Oh, God.
They might want to caught some kind of controversy, mightn't they?
Okay. I thought we were going to have to get the bleep machine out about 8 times then. All right, let's go to the final news story, is it, James? I believe.
Yeah, so the last one is that there's going to be a Life is Strange TV show.
Next.
This is from Eurogamer. So Amazon Prime Video has greenlit a live-action Life is Strange show, and it'll be led, produced, and written by it's Charlie Covell, who did The End of the Fucking World, which I thought was good.
I've not seen it, but I've heard good things.
Yeah. Right. Do you want to hear the quote from the executive producers?
Before we do, all I'll say is Fallout, Last of Us, others. You've ruined this for us now, because it's going to be everything. It's got Sonic the Hedgehog and Super Mario. It's going to be. They're going to go. Well, we could do video game stuff now, can we?
Yeah.
Can we? Because we couldn't.
Video games are the new comic
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And you've chosen Life is Strange. Imagine if that's the one you chose. Go on.
Well, this is from the executive producers from Story Kitchen who are involved with this. They said Story Kitchen has always believed that Life is Strange deserves to be more than just a game. It's a cultural touchstone. After a decade-long journey, we're honoured to be bringing this beloved story.
Yeah, what the fuck?
It's weird, isn't it?
Fuck you. Yeah, that is a real fucking awful.
More than a near computer game.
Yeah, little child's computer game.
After a decade-long journey, we're honoured to be bringing this beloved story to Amazon MGM alongside our incredible partners at Square Enix, our brilliant showrunner and writer Charlie Covell, and the amazing team at Lucky Chap. Together, this thoughtfully assembled dream team is ready to share Life is Strange with the world in an entirely new way. Do you want to hear what Square Enix had to say about it?
Yeah. They fucking love it, did they?
They said
for it, yeah.
They said, for years, we've had so many people asking us to create a Life is Strange TV show, and we're so pleased to finally partner with Amazon MGM Studios, who trust...
No, there's Square Enix. You've had loads of people saying, stop making Life is Strange games. Not that doesn't translate to make TV shows, all right? Just want to be clear about that.
They just say that they trust that they're going to do an incredible job bringing, and they said, our universe to life. So
what is going to be fun about it is obviously Square Enix, we know they're great with their forecasting and what they expect games to sell. I imagine they're like, we anticipate this to probably make 10 billion on day one, movie wise. Probably going to do that.
Yeah. They're going to try and find a way of making you pay as you're walking into the cinema to decide what clothes they're going to wear. I don't know how you make that first game. We all are huge fans of that first game. We loved it when it came out. There are a lot of hokey aspects to it. The plot is quite thin. I mean, it was a bit of a teen drama when we watched it, and it was one that we fell for and one that we really liked. I don't know how you translate that into a movie, to be quite honest with you.
And I feel like
a TV series. I think it makes sense.
TV series,
just whether it makes more sense as a TV show than a movie for sure. And I think they could.
In this era, everyone would see the twist coming a mile away as well.
Yes, I think so. There are still some ups and downs in that that will be surprising for people, I think.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how much of the time rewind stuff that they do. And
But
how they
why are we
make that
assuming
not
it's based
feel
on the
like
first
a
game?
gameplay.
Did I miss that bit?
Yeah, well, because I was saying on WhatsApp, wasn't I, that like actually commercially, the first game was the biggest, I believe, and it hasn't really reclaimed that since. I know we all broadly prefer Life is Strange 2. I think is that fair?
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
I think I like them both
Yeah,
actually.
but it didn't hit
Before
the
the Storm was
same
great.
But yeah,
market.
this could be an original Life is Strange story, which that would make
Which
even
one
less
do
sense.
you suggest they base it on, Matt? Is it
Well, no,
Double
I
Exposure?
think Life is Strange 2 is definitely a better one, but I mean, we don't know it's going to be. We don't know it's going to follow the first game. I think it makes sense for us, sure, but maybe that wouldn't translate well as a TV show. I don't know, but or if it's always going to be is like basically a teen drama, then
That's exactly what it's going to be. That's exactly what it's going to
And
be.
it should
I am
be,
just-
right? That's correct.
Yeah, totally.
I'm just hoping that Lost Records is going to be next. I think we need a conversion of that for TV.
Ice cream, you.
I mean, Captain Spirit would be better. It's like a very short. Is it Captain Spirit?
Yeah, Captain Spirit was great.
Like a very
Fucking
limited
hell, man.
series.
That'll be the
era was so
animated
good.
tie-in like that they'll do because there'll be like suddenly there'll be the Life is Strange universe.
Oh,
or
don't jump
whatever,
ahead of
you know.
yourself. I can't see this being a success. Let's not get into animated tie-ins just yet. Is that it for the news, James Farley?
It is, but I have got a fantasy zone.
Oh my god.
Welcome back.
my
James Farley's
God.
back. It's time to take a trip to the fantasy zone.
Should I press the button?
Yes, please.
Fantasy Zone.
And doth my eyes deceive me? We're in the fantasy zone. And what's that? James Farley is on an episode of TCGS. Fucking hell, it is a fantasy zone. Oh, what's going on? Hello, James Farley. What have you got for us here in your wonderful land of fantasy?
Well, this is. I mean, this thing is right about this is this has been reported. I
Was
think
that too much? Sure.
No, it's good.
Is that did I? Okay, sorry.
It was the hand, I mean, obviously, most of the listeners won't get it, but the hand gesture at the end was wonderful. I thought.
Okay, cheers, man. Appreciate that. That's what 4 years at the Brit School gets you. James Farley.
Do you want to hear some rumours about the PlayStation 6?
Yeah.
Fucking yes, I do. Yes.
Okay. So this is from a YouTube channel which is Moore's Law is Dead, and they reckon that the rumours are that the PS6 is going to have 3 different versions, and what it'll be is there'll be a standard PS6, a lower powered PS6S, and a dockable handheld, and they're all
these
played
ideas from.
the same games. But the key thing here is they reckon they've already worked out the prices, which I don't know how they've worked this out.
Well, whatever it is, double them.
Yeah, they
Produce
they
a
reckon
hard drive.
they reckon the PS6S, the cheaper one, will be $299 to $399.
No.
They reckon the PS6 handheld is going to be $399 to $499, and
No.
then the base one will be $549 to $699. And they reckon it's going to come out in autumn 2027.
That would be great news if it was true.
Yeah, if it was still 2007,
Yeah.
which
No,
it isn't.
No, absolutely no chance.
I mean,
what
I
are they
didn't
going to do
do
with the pricing of
3.
the current lot then? Like, are they just going to be like 200 quid for a PS5? Like, doesn't make any sense.
I don't see them doing the S thing because I feel like they've probably looked at what Microsoft have done, and maybe it's we don't really know, or they kind of doubt it. But then all the kind of issues, some issues with, Baldur's Gate couldn't launch on Xbox because having to deal with the RAM on the S. I just feel like they wouldn't make that mistake, and they don't have to.
I feel like that was like the because when that happened, everyone was like, right, well, this is going to be it now. This is going to be every week. There's going to be a new big release, and it's going to. I don't think that it's really happened.
Didn't really happen, did it?
No.
No, it hasn't. You're right.
I mean, I can see there being a handheld, honestly. Like, I can see this happening because they
But
must be.
the portal's worked out all right for him, hasn't it?
I know,
yeah,
but
that's.
exactly.
I think
but
that's why they want to release a handheld.
Yeah.
I suppose.
I don't know if you launch it with the PS6 though. That seems insane to me. Like the difference between power what you can get in a handheld, dockable handheld over a traditional console is just not even close. Why would they go down that road? I can see them doing a cheaper version, but I can see it still being a disc and discless version.
Yeah.
I'd be amazed if they go straight for discless for the PS6.
They won't, I don't think, because I mean, there was who was it? It was Sean Layden was talking about this recently, where he was like, "There's that it's unlikely they do this because they sell in so many territories where digital distribution is not great in the sense that internet speeds are not very good and stuff like that. That people still really do buy discs, and that it's
What territories do you think they are? What does he go into what territories they are?
No, he doesn't talk about it.
I assume we're talking sort of global south, very broadly speaking, but beyond that, I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that sounds like Farley's bullshit zone. Actually, not fantasy zone. I think it's. Did you have anything else on the PS6, or was that it?
I think that's it. There was something else, but I forgot what it was.
I think the idea of them doing a Switch sounds cool, but I think that's probably wishful thinking, isn't it? Really.
I mean, they've got to. I seriously think they've got to be looking at some way to compete with that. Because, when I was in Japan, it's like you go into video game shops, it's just Nintendo now. It's just
if you can't compete with Nintendo. Nintendo release Nintendo games. That's it. They've got the legacy. They release those Nintendo games. They're really good at what Nintendo do. How do you challenge that?
Well, they did before.
Sony have got their own. Yeah, Sony have got their own sort of crop of games, but it just feels now that people are so trusting of Nintendo and what they produce. The new Animal Crossing comes out in a year or two's time. That is going to be a global event. That is going to be another huge global event. And it hasn't. Animal Crossing has always been big, but it's just getting bigger. And that, I can't imagine what that's going to be like when they release the next one.
You see, the only thing about the prices here that I think may be not completely inaccurate is I don't actually think that the PS6 is going to be ridiculously expensive and the reason I don't think it is I don't think it's going to be much of a step up from the PS5, and I think everything here is going to go into trying to make this lower cost and smaller, is because I mean, you look at what's happened with the PS5 Pro. It's like,
well, that's what I was going to say.
What was the point?
I mean, that's not much of a step up from the PS5.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's but then exactly, what was the point of that? I can see them trying to do something where they try and release something which is maybe more moderately spec'd, but they can sell for cheaper. And so they can compete with Nintendo more effectively. I can see them doing that. I don't. Think
I bet they changed their plans massively. I bet they probably will say, "Oh yeah, PSX could be this and that," but maybe they've said, "Look, all the cost rising and this and that. They don't want to. They will have to do whatever they could, so they don't have to keep having to increase the price or reduce the storage as they have been doing in this generation."
But also,
maybe you're right.
They must be looking at Nintendo as well and just being like, look, they've put out this console, which, yes, it is more powerful than the Switch, but it's still not top end, equipment. Why are we still doing this when if we're being outsold massively, on this stuff? Well, we can just bring something out which is a bit more powerful but cheaper. We can sell loads more.
But I think PlayStation's heritage is more about kind of high quality cinematic experiences. The success they've had with Uncharted, Last of Us, and God of War, and Gran Turismo, those kinds of games. They're a big part. And Horizon is about the visuals. It's about all this, about the fidelity. Nintendo's really not been about that, and they've gone in their own way. So Sony's kind of heritage is that. I mean, the idea of them having a Switch-like device, because that makes sense, because have a device where you can play wherever you are. That makes absolute sense, and we've seen that with the success of the Switch. We've heard a bunch of rumors over the years, they're going to get a new handheld out, maybe it'll be another Vita, whatever it is, and it does make sense to have the next console be something that you can play in a dock at home and then handheld wherever you want. And that's really exciting if that is indeed the case.
So I also wonder whether it may be affecting development studios and stuff with that Sony control, in the sense of if you're thinking, look, we can produce more stuff if it's less technically impressive or whatever, but maybe we can get things out more quickly. Do you see what I mean? It's the fact it seems to be taking so long for stuff to come out from Sony first party. It's not just the fact that they did the live service stuff. It's also because of how much seems to go into making these games. Why not take the Nintendo route and make stuff that still looks
because
good?
I think Sean might have a good point in that you risk pissing off your existing fan base if you start doing that. If you bring out a new console on it and you're not releasing games that are taking that next step, that you're showing off this new hardware and it's the same old shit, I think people are going to get pissed off. That's what they go. That's what they go to Sony for. They go for those, high end, big budget, razor sharp looking games. You release a PS6 and it feels like you're just playing a PS5.
And
I don't think that's gonna go
Nintendo
down
still
too
take their
well.
time to make their games as well. That's why we haven't had a new Mario in a long time and get loads of remakes and this and that. So I think everyone is struggling with how complex games are and the fidelity, even if it isn't 4K, 8K on Switch 2, there's still a lot of stuff that goes into it. But yeah, it's gonna be fascinating to see what direction they go, because I feel like they probably do need a bit. Well, actually, they do and they don't. Like they could do to compete with Nintendo, they don't, because there's no other mainstream competitor like Xbox anymore, really. So I don't know. So they can really kind of do what they want, and they'll still do gangbusters on numbers. So I'm fascinated to see how these rumors kind of carry on, if they do, and where we are. 2027 feels so soon. But who knows?
I'm still fascinated to see how much that ROG Ally is going to cost, because it's 6 weeks away now. We still don't know the price.
We still look Christ.
No.
We got the US price, haven't we?
Nope. We don't know. We don't know how much
Really?
it's going to cost. No. It's there's no pricing on that, which leads me to believe it's going to be expensive.
I could have sworn that was that a leak or something.
Yeah, there
Everyone's
was
saying
rumours.
$800, but it's nothing really confirmed.
Oh,
But also,
okay.
it's interesting because like Lenovo today came out and said that
Yeah.
there's going to be like they're adding it's got like one of their ones that their handhelds that they're going to release is going to have like an Xbox layer to it as well. This is where it's going for.
Yeah, it's
them.
like
That's exactly what Microsoft
it's the
wants,
Legion
isn't it?
the Legion Go Gen 2, and that's going to Xbox thing. But the main one for that it's at £1,300.
Yeah.
So that isn't even really competing on Steam front like levels. Like the cheapest version of that is £900. That's the Legion Go Gen 2.
Which, if I can put that in a dock and it's essentially also my home computer, I could possibly justify that. But that's such an edge case. That's not what most people want from devices like this, I don't think. So
No, I've got zero interest in buying this. Like absolutely no interest in buying this thing. So yeah, it's I think it's onto a loss with that one. But okay, look, we've got to move on, because we cannot spend this much time in Farley's fantasy zone. I feel like I'm going to throw up at any moment.
Yeah.
I'd like to go back to the regular happy area of the show. I don't know what that means. Let's get to what you've been playing. Obviously, the big release, we'd already spoken about it earlier in the show, Hollow Knight, Silksong. We've all been playing it. We have all been playing it. Now, we are going to do 2 areas talking about this game. We're going to do a completely spoiler-free opinions section of the show. And then I think we haven't been talking to each other about this game. I think Matt said he's got questions. I've got a few questions. I know Sean and James, you were big fans of the original Hollow Knight, so I've got questions about that game as well as this one. And they may stray into not spoilers. We're not going to go into details about things. However, we will be asking questions about certain areas of the game and certain mechanics of the game, and maybe items that can help us progress and stuff like that. If you want a completely spoiler-free view on Hollow Knight Silksong, listen to the first section. I'll let you know when we're going into the second section. But yeah, there's too many questions. I think talking about mechanics of this game isn't really a spoiler. I don't see it as a spoiler myself, but we're being ultra sensitive to it.
Yeah.
So, right. Start off, James, Sean, you were both big fans of the original Hollow Knight, and you've been waiting for this game for a long time. I think you should lead on the discussion on this. Like, how have you found your experience with it?
I mean, how many hours have you spent on it, James?
I think probably about 5 or 6, maybe, or 7.
Okay, so I'm sort of 9 or 10
Okay.
at this point. It's really good. It's really fucking good. I mean, that's my opinion. I don't know if James agrees.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly kind of what I hoped it was going to be, in the sense of it feels similar, but not really at all, because the mechanics of the way that the character moves in particular, and is quite different to Hollow Knight, I would say. But
Well,
it's
yeah,
still...
sort of superficially, it's quite similar, but yeah, within 5 minutes, you're like, oh no, I'm trying to play it like the first game, and it's not working, because there are just subtle differences in the moves, the way Hornet behaves, the way her attacks work, slightly different. The I don't want to get into this right now, but I am just going to say it's fucking difficult. And like to the point that I am worried I will not have the energy for it come a certain
See,
point.
it's interesting you should say that because I thought that was the Hollow Knight thing. I thought the first
game was hard.
really
This
tough.
one feels even more punishing, I would say.
There's parts of this that I've played so far whereby there are bits where you're just like, that. Come on, that's just a bit.
That's just it.
That's
like,
taking
and
the piss.
I'm not. I really don't want to start the difficulty in games discourse, although I see it's already alive and well on Blue Sky. It's not the bosses are hard. Fine, bosses are supposed to be hard. They're supposed to be, skill checks, whatever. It's the fact that when I am struggling with a boss, there's a run back to it. That's a good 1 or 2 minutes of having to run through areas, dodge a few enemies, or maybe fight them or whatever every time, and that gets tedious.
It's very kind of like Dark Souls in that sense. In that, like there is sometimes a trek back, and sometimes, like you said, sometimes like there's a bit I'm stuck on at the moment. The trek, as you said, is probably about it's probably about 3 or 4 minutes, I think, to get to where I'm trying to get to. And it's also punishing as well. Like in between there, it's like sometimes I get to where I need to go to, and I'm like, I'm in a terrible state already. There's no way I can do this. It's Also,
when you say it's like Dark Souls, in that, just to explain for those of you that haven't played it, it is quite literally like Dark Souls, where instead of bonfires, you have benches where you rest, and that resets all the enemies. And if you die, you leave something on the floor, and all your collectibles are gone. Well, not all of them, but some of your collectibles are gone.
Beads,
and and you need to get back there and reclaim them, because if you die again before you get to do that, you lose everything, right?
It's 400 just before we recorded the show.
Well, I've got a story about how I've lost 400, and I will talk to you about it in a bit. But it is quite literally like Dark Souls in that regard, right?
And like I say, it is brilliant, but there have been sessions that I've had to walk away from because I'm just like, life's too fucking short for this. I'm not doing this tonight. And looking at Steam reviews and stuff, everyone's like, it just gets harder. Like the difficulty just gets more and more ridiculous as you go on. So I do think there is going to come a point where it will break me, and that will be a shame, because the bits I'm enjoying, I am really enjoying. And and even like I say, I'm not averse to repeating a difficult boss fight and learning the patterns and observing the tells and stuff. And then when you do it, it's fucking balletic the way you just take down a boss with like barely taking a single hit. You know exactly how to hop around, dodge all its attacks, get a little cheeky downwards hit every so often. All that stuff is beautiful. But there's just those runs to the bosses are a bit of a piss take at times, and that really slows it down for me.
Especially
that aside. Oh, God, sorry.
I've had a couple of instances where I've got into like a new area or whatever, and I've started like exploring around, haven't found a bench, in that area, and I've gone and you're like exploring for quite a long time, and then end up in like a boss area, and then you're like, okay, well, I'm done, and then it's just like, but then I've got to go back through the whole thing all over again. It does. It is
there's a lot
bit...
of as well as bosses. There's a lot of these like kill rooms, right, where you'll just walk into a room and then the door shuts behind you, and then there's like waves of enemies you have to fight, which like are interesting because they're always enemies you fought, on your way there, like mostly in isolation. And it's a game where the movement and the combat is so nuanced that by suddenly going, but what about 2 of these enemies plus this guy, you're suddenly like, oh shit, that completely changes how I have to tackle this. And that is interesting.
That, and also in an enclosed space as well, which makes things like, because that's what I'm stuck on at the moment. I'm stuck on a bit with that, and it's really doing my head in. Because...
Well, this is it's an interesting idea, and I get it, but I do feel like there are maybe too many of those, and they are fucking difficult.
This is the thing, because I'm really enjoying it. Like I'm especially like the exploration. I still really like that aspect of it. I've got to a point with one thing which I think I messed up, and I don't know how to fix it, which is really annoying. But then I think maybe I do know how to fix it because I just got to a bit which I think does the fixing. And
Okay, right. Well, we'll save that for the spoilery bit because I think we do need to get into all that sort of stuff. Matt, what's your reaction? How far into it are you?
Yes, I'm about 4 hours in. But a lot of that was actually just trying to find my way around the place or die. I'm really, really enjoying it. Having not played the first one, I didn't realize there's a new character until I watched the video. I have definitely, after the first hour or two, I was like, okay, I don't know what these beads are. I don't know what the shards are. I don't know anything. So I watched a couple of here's things to know. And I was like, okay, this makes sense. Now, maybe the game is about to explain that stuff, or maybe it doesn't because it might assume you've got some knowledge from the previous game. I don't know, but I feel way better about things because there's nothing. You're straight in there. There's no hey, to do this. It's, as you get new abilities, I've just got the spear. It will obviously tell you how to use that and whatnot. But generally, I'm lost here. So, but I'm loving the exploration. The enemies, as you say, at least the basic ones I'm seeing now are quite simple. But one of the first kill rooms you see where it combines a bunch of those little skull crab things and then a big one, and that took me a little bit. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying it the more I play and the more I get in terms of abilities because now I've got the spears a little bit better. I'm still traversing. It's the thing you need to get to through the cobwebs.
You can throw. Yeah. Okay, yeah. The cobweb bit. Yeah.
So I basically that kind of that first the boss where you have to get through the spider webs basically. But I've done a few of smaller ones in is it moss something? I don't know. It's based on the first or second area, but I'm really just still exploring those areas. And I'm desperately trying to find benches as soon as I go into anywhere new because I'm worried about getting killed. And but a lot of times I have died. It's just because I've rushed and I've just panicked and rushed basically needlessly. But one of the first areas you can get. This isn't a spoiler. It's literally the first second of the game. You can turn right from the start, and there's you can jump through a wall basically. And I was getting smashed by that person for ages. And I'm like, this is literally about 4 steps from the start of the game. But I was determined to do it.
It's any of the normal enemies can fuck you up in seconds if you're not paying attention. There's been so many times where I've running through a room and I'm like, oh, it's just the basic pilgrim guys, this will be fine. And then I feel like I can just button mash my way through and you cannot. Ever.
No, it's definitely best to but just like with a Souls-like game, often it's you making your own mistakes because you're panicking or you're forgetting what you need to do. And now I'm okay, well, these kinds of enemies take 2 hits and they act in this way. These take 6 hits and they react in this way. So it's about just remembering really. So rather than bash or running in, no, actually these ones you gotta go as close as you can because they're gonna fire something over you. And it's really fun learning all those and trying to navigate the environment while staying alive.
We'll say one thing that's... Go on, sorry.
Yeah, the boss battle stuff, and even just regular enemies is so much like the Dark Souls thing of if you get greedy, with hits, it's you have to, you have to be on your game the whole time, basically. Any sort of combat.
You want to know the worst thing about the bosses? My kids. Because I was playing at the weekend, I was playing one of the bosses, and I was in the flow, getting into it and all that, and Harry just walked in front of the screen, and from then on, I was it's the first time I've genuinely snapped at him about video game. I usually don't care, but I was so in the flow with it, and he just walked in front of the screen, and I just went, why you? What did you not see? And the other thing is Charlie. I watch a lot of those videos with the kids that are trying to do the challenges, Mr. Griddy and Cool Boy and all that sort of stuff on TikTok.
You could be
so
making these
now,
up. I wouldn't have any idea,
I will send you a link. So now, when I play a hard boss and I'm struggling with it, Charlie walks past going, "Very tough challenge," like that, and which is what the guy says in those videos. And I'm like, mate, that is killing me every time you say that. It's and it throws me off my my pattern. Can I go into my thoughts, please?
Yeah, sure.
Firstly, I was really surprised. A lot about what I thought Hollow Knight was, this isn't, and I'm interested to know if I just misunderstood what Hollow Knight was, or if or if this is a very different game. Like, so for starters, I thought Hollow Knight was this huge, expansive map that was like massive, and it's all, you know, whereas this feels really condensed. Like, there are bits where you can travel and search around, and then all of a sudden you're back where you started, and you're like, what? How am I getting here? And
this is the thing. It's both.
Yeah, because Hollow Knight was like that as well.
Yeah, like it is that dense and that massive. Like, I haven't seen the full world map for this one, but yeah, like Hollow Knight was notorious for, like, there'd be like entire like regions of the map that, like, you'd spot like a little bit in a wall, and you're like, oh, what happens if I whack that? And you hit it, and you just through to another section of the game.
Yeah, I'm whacking every wall I come across now.
Right, I do see. Yeah, because I've not been whacking walls, so maybe I've been missing
whacking the
most.
walls.
Yeah. So right at the start of the game, have you gone right and like done? You haven't
Yes,
done
I have done that because I saw
yeah.
the same TikTok. And Matt, it's not hard. You hit it and then just back off and then hit it again, don't you?
Well, yeah, but it's such a small enclosed area, and there's like
Yeah, but you
rushing
just
around.
drop out of the area. You let him do his attack, and then you jump back up and hit him.
Oh,
again.
I was just staying in there.
No, don't stay in there.
Oh,
Holy
well, I
fuck!
did it that
I
way.
don't know how you did it.
Controlling
Worked, did it?
space is a big
Hard mode.
Yeah.
Controlling space is a big thing.
One thing I didn't realise, have you pressed R3 or click the right stick in?
Yes.
So
yeah, you can bait enemies,
yes,
right?
it's a
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know
yeah.
that.
Because initially I was like, this is a rubbish attack. It doesn't, it's not no use at all. But
Doesn't do anything.
draws enemies towards you, which can be really useful if an enemy's stuck somewhere you don't want to fight them.
Okay.
Yeah. The other thing that really surprised me is how stilted the combat is and some of the movement. I think that is mainly because I'm coming from Shinobi. And look, I was talking to Sean. Sean knows where I'm at with this game, right? I was texting him about it last night, and I'll explain what I was texting him about. I broke the code. Boys.
I'm really disappointed.
I had to break the code, and I'll tell you why in a minute. I'll go into it. But it's not fair to compare Shinobi and Hollow Knight, Silksong, because I think I don't think they are doing very different things. Shinobi is like, let's make everything cool instantly. Let's make everything feel amazing instantly. Let's make the movement just feel amazing. Let's feel the combat feel just absolutely responsive and full of combos. Like, it's a game where you can fling an enemy up into the air and just parry them for ages in the air, even long after they're dead, you know, because why not? It's fun. Yeah. Whereas like Hollow Knight is very, no, we're going to build this up. This is going to take a long time before you get anywhere in this or understand any of it. We're not going to give everything on the plate like Shinobi does. They're going for two different things, but it is hard to go from a game like Shinobi to this, where you think, well, this isn't as fun to move around in. It's not as fun to fight in. It's not as fun. And, you know, visually, I think Silksong is stunning, but it's going, again, totally different things they're going for. Shinobi's going for, look at all this fucking cool shit, whereas Silksong's building an atmosphere, right?
It does that, and also the stuff like the combat and everything in this, and also in Hollow Knight as well, is ultimately, I would say it's more rewarding in the sense of once you like really begin to like understand like how it works, and you have patience, and you start to like, you know, see boss tells and all that kind of stuff.
It depends what you mean.
Really cool.
I think the word rewarding can be used in different ways, and for me, I think Shinobi's just as rewarding, because I think I get to see a really cool looking fun fight. Yeah. Whereas on here it has been very much step left, step right, dodge, hit, dodge, back out, step right, left. It's like very mechanical, right? And I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm saying there's no point in comparing them. I would not say that Silksong's combat is more rewarding than Shinobi's, because I come out of a combat in Shinobi and go, fucking hell, that was fucking great.
Yeah, but that's the point though, because what I mean by it being more rewarding is that, like, because this is what it was like with Hollow Knight as well, which was that it took hours and hours, like a very long time, to get to that point where you have the ability and you have the, you know, the what's called the skill set, and but also like items and like upgrades and stuff, where you start to where you feel like you generally start to feel like you're getting a mastery over stuff, and that's where it feels amazing.
I feel like Shinobi, and Dave's right. You can't necessarily compare them in a lot of ways. But I feel like Shinobi really nails that sensation of like being in a boss fight or whatever, and like being on the ropes for a minute and then coming back from it, and that whereas Silksong is very much dead, try again, dead, try again, dead, try again. Okay,
sure.
now you've done it. Like,
Yeah.
So, and
Which is
I
a
really
design
like,
choice, right? Is what they're going for.
yeah. But I
It's
really
what they're
like
going
games
for.
that put you in that space of like I am sort of improvising, sort of learning at the same time, and I'm mostly getting away with it, but not quite. And I just that sort of space to me, I find that really exciting. Whereas, and like you say, beating a boss in Silksong is amazing, and when you do it, you will do it perfectly. But I don't necessarily enjoy that process of getting there the same.
Yeah,
For
for sure.
and that's the thing, because you see, the other thing this reminds me of is Cuphead as well, because Cuphead was very similar in this regard, in that like to defeat like basically it's just a series of it's a boss rush. The whole game is like that, and once you actually do it, it is because you basically perfected like all of the movement for the entire level or whatever. And I guess it does depend on whether you enjoy that or not, like the repetitive nature of basically sort of trying to attain perfection, as it were, which you don't. Yeah, you're right. Shinobi's not like that, because I played Shinobi as well. I was going to talk about it later, but they're very different games, I would say.
Yeah, of course they are. But what I'm saying, my point is, I'm going from that. I stopped playing Shinobi, which I was loving, to play this, and I'm like, fuck. So I was on the back foot anyway. I then sent a series of texts to Sean because I killed a boss, which is noted to be one of the hardest bosses at the start of the game. It's quite early on. And it isn't even a real boss. If I say that, you probably know which boss I'm talking about. And then I got to the red flower buds, and
that's where I'm at right now.
Had no idea. Here's right. And for those of you that have played it, I will describe it. I will describe it because I think it's important. So there's a certain area of the map where to progress, there are these red flower buds over spikes and stuff, and you can't jump to the next platform, and you don't seem to be able to interact with these flower buds. And I'm like, I don't know where to go or what to do at this point. Fuck it, I'm going to look it up. I was trying not to look anything up, but I got to the point where I was hitting a brick wall. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So I looked it up. What do you do with these red flower buds? And what you have to do is you have to jump over the top of them, down and attack, and you sort of hop on them, right? That's it. I must have spent 20 minutes trying to hop on one of them, let alone do a combination of 5 of them, which that area asks you to do at one point, right? And I was like, this isn't fun. This isn't good. This is shit. It feels crap. I don't like it. So I said, right, this is it. This is my final chance that I'm giving this game. I text Sean and said, what the fuck do I do with these things? Because when you press down and attack, it's not like you're just pressing down and attack. The character goes off at a 45-degree angle. So you've got to get that angle right.
And this is different to Hollow Knight as well, because Hollow Knight had this as well, but it was literally like you pressed it and it just went directly down, for the attack. Whereas this one, it goes at an angle instead.
So Sean said, do you want something spoiled for you? And I said yes. And a warning, this isn't a real spoiler. I'm going to talk around it, so don't.
It's one of those that in the early game, it seems like a really big deal. Now that I've played more of it, it's just a thing, and it's a very cool thing, but it might be something you don't want to hear about for the first couple
and I'm not going to go into detail, so you won't hear about it. But there is an item in the game that makes those bits easier, right? And you can get it very early on. So he said, here's a video on how to get it. And in that video, it says, you need this thing to get here, to get here, to get here, but this thing costs 500 rose butt pearls or whatever they are. So I was like, fuck it. All right. Well, I thought, I'll go exploring the map anyway, and I'll collect them as I go. I got to 400. I died. I tried to get back to them. I died again. I lost 400. I said to Sean, that's it. I'm done. I'm not playing this game anymore. I'm done. I've heard it gets even harder. I'm not enjoying this at this point, which was annoying because the bosses that I'd done before that I fucking loved. Like I really love, and I thought this is really cool. I love the atmosphere of the game. I like how it looks. I like the sound. Like the audio is just brilliant. Like the music, and I just loved everything it was doing, except for these fucking red flower things. So anyway, after I spoke to you, Sean, I thought, right, I'm gonna try with these red flowers one last time the legitimate way and see how I get on. And then it clicked. And I cannot believe how hard I found it. And for those of you listening, I'll give you a few tips. If you're on this area and you're thinking about quitting, I'll give you a couple of tips. Firstly, I didn't realise how bad the D-pad was on the Pro Controller. It's not very good.
No, that's the thing. It's better. I found it easier playing with the Joy-Cons for some weird reason.
Oh, wow.
Like with that.
I haven't been doing that. I've been playing in handheld. I've been using the individual buttons or whatever. Because
I've been
here's my
using the
tip.
stick on the Pro Controller.
You never use the stick. Not for this. Like this game.
When you say Joy-Cons, you mean the actual buttons, right?
I mean the buttons, yeah,
So
not the
I'm with
stick.
you. I'm with you. Yeah. I know. Don't use the stick. No. Although there was one boss fight that I had to use a stick for. When it says press down and attack, don't press down and attack. That's not how this fucking thing works. You have to press the diagonal down.
Yep.
So hold right down or hold left down, depending on where the next one is. And then it becomes a bit of a rhythm action one where some are closer to the others and some are further away. And you're like, oh, I see, I'm doing it in time with this. And now I'm getting it now. I'm getting it.
And then also you can, like, when you hit one, you can then also, like, you can reposition yourself, like, when you're spinning then do the next one. And it becomes, it is like rhythm. Like, once you get the rhythm down, it's actually not terribly difficult. But this is why, like, Matt, really, I would advise you to use the buttons. Like, don't use the stick.
Yeah,
because
it hasn't been the easiest thing, but
it's really precise.
Because you need real
really
precision
precise.
with it, like, for it to
The
work.
D-pad on the Pro Controller is fucking shit, man. Like, it does stuff. I'll be holding right and the character does an up attack and stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? It's like not accurate enough at all.
And this is what was weird, because I put it in the dock, and I started doing that bit again that we're talking about, and I was like, oh, I'll use the Pro Controller now. This should be easier, and really not. It was like significantly harder. I was like, this is definitely much easier with the Joy-Con buttons instead. Strange.
So I'll tell you where I am now, and this will give you some sort of insight into how much I fell in love with it after getting past that particular bit. I'm in Greymore. I've beaten the fourth chorus, is it?
Yeah.
I've done that.
That was a good boss fight. Really enjoyed that one.
Because
that was because I did that first time, and again, that felt like a fun one.
First time?
Yeah. And
Holy shit, I didn't.
And I'm, apologies to anyone who struggled with it, because I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, to me that felt like a fun, like I was improvising and sort of picking it up as I went, and that felt really enjoyable.
I really struggled with that one actually. But yeah, no, there was, like, for example, the other one was, who's the one that you fight before that? It's a really fucking good fight. Said something, a weird name like Velvet or something. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah, I know the one you mean. Yeah, Silk. Is it Silk?
Yeah, I saw people. I did that one first time, but because that felt like more like you were fighting yourself, so I knew the moveset going into it. Yeah. Look, I don't know. I am concerned. I've got the same concerns as you, Sean. How hard does this get, and is it going to get beyond my skill set?
I've heard that it doesn't, and that it stays pretty consistent throughout.
No, that's not what I've heard. I don't think I've heard it. Loads of people are saying it gets ridiculous. So I don't know where you've heard that, but I mean, people on Rollmuck are saying it gets really, really fucking tough, and most of the comments that I've seen on Blue Sky are like, this is getting out of control and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I'm fucking loving it. Greymore, when you get to that area, holy shit, is it fucking great. It feels like you're in a completely different game at that point. And
is it true, because I'm playing this on Steam, apparently on the Switch 2 version or Switch version, when you're somewhere where there's rainfall, it does something with the HD rumble?
It does. I've not seen the rainfall stuff. I've felt footsteps. Does footsteps in certain areas, and it does some HD rumble stuff, which is pretty cool.
One thing I really like, and we haven't talked about, some of the characters, man. Fucking love them.
Yes. The way they talk.
Yeah, the sound.
The music.
I did send one message to Sean, which was a screenshot of one of the characters, and I was just like, has got the best enemy sound like in a
Oh
game
god,
ever.
yeah! All the
It's-
enemies
yeah.
sound like me trying to get off my chair
Yeah.
these days. You know, that sort of
It's like,
sort of stuff or whatever. I tell you what, I can do without James, and I don't know if you're with me or against me. This is going to be a real sort of. I'm fascinated to know if you're with me. I can do without the fucking twee poems. Like they
I'm
piss me off so fucking much. There are areas in the game where it's got like a shield or whatever, and then you go and press up, and it says inspect, and it says the bell tolls twice on the east of the side of the thing, and you go up and then down and then round into the house, and you go fuck off, mate.
What I will say,
Just
I
fuck
don't
off.
disagree, but those will probably end up being relevant to the lore.
Yeah, I
somehow,
know,
and
but-
people will piece it together, and you'll watch a
Yeah, I
YouTube video
get
one day and be
it.
like, "Oh wow, okay, that's really interesting."
Yeah, I get it, but it's just if it was a little bit more subtle, I'd be all right. But the fact that it's so like, oh, 2 steps left, up and down left, and I'm like, yeah, okay, all right, fuck off. Do you know what I mean? Like Animal World does this shit way better than these fucking poems do. You know,
I think
there's better ways
that's
of doing it.
one of the things is like, you know, saying like last year between like Animal World, there's Prince of Persia, Ultros, felt like Metroidvanias were going off in sort of lots of interesting different directions.
Yeah,
This feels much like a pretty traditional one, relatively speaking. But it is a really fucking good one. It's just very hard.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it annoys me because like I hate that stuff. The way it's written annoys me. It's like that faux riddle style poems
I
everywhere.
like the dialogue. I don't mind the dialogue between characters.
No, I don't. I quite like that as well, and I quite like the twee sort of singing and the
Man,
that sort of stuff. I can put up with. But when you see the game do stuff like look, the first time you come across lava, and you see this may be considered a spoiler actually, so you might want to fast forward, just a couple of notches, but. The first time you see lava and you see those little kangaroo sort of style enemies jumping across it, I remember standing there going, this game's trying to tell me something and I need to work out what it's telling me. And I was literally saying, maybe they're not enemies, maybe I can jump on their back. And so I tried that and lost a bit of health and I was like, no, it's not that. And then I thought, hold on, can I jump just across the lava without getting hurt? Oh yeah, I totally can. That's fucking great. Like, what a good way of telling me something. I love shit
Or
like that. I
you
don't
could
like
also
shit poems.
Do the downward attack on them and use them as a little stepping stone.
Okay, yeah, but what's the point? You might as well just jump across the thing, right? Yeah, look, I think it's really, really good. I'm fucking well into it at the moment, and I'm thinking about it a lot. I cannot wait to have another long session on it. I also have concerns about how hard it's going to get. I mean, I hope you're right, James. I hope it doesn't get any harder than it already has. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm worried.
See, can I ask a question now?
Well, let's do it. Should we let's pull down the barrier now and say, look, fast forward, say 5 to 10 minutes if you want a completely spoiler-free experience. However, you know, most of the stuff I'm going to be asking is about the first game anyway, but there are going to be slight things that we're going to go into that maybe you want to discover on your own. So there's your fair warning. James, what's your question?
Okay, so you meet the guy who gives you like you can buy maps and stuff from, right?
Yes,
that's
Not a guy, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, is it not? I can't remember.
No, it's not.
It's clearly got female voice.
Is it a female voice? I can't
Yeah.
remember. Okay, you meet the person who gives you that you can buy maps and stuff from. That's not a problem. I went from the
Why would that be a problem?
no, as in like I went from the deep docks, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I ended up in the far fields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I met the person who gives you maps, but I didn't have enough rosaries on me, so I couldn't buy any at all. And then so I was like, okay, well I'll come back. I'll go out and get some. Went back, they're gone.
Yeah,
Like-
they move about.
And
She's
so
in
I'm like,
town. She'll be in town
yeah,
if she's not where you need her to be.
but it's a bit annoying because it's like I
Yeah.
don't know. Because the thing is, I spent ages going around the far fields and but I can't look at a map because I haven't got one.
Yeah.
And also I missed the map for one of the other areas as well. And I was like, I need some maps because I don't know where I'm going, and this is getting a bit irritating. But I think I've figured it out now because I think I've gone in the wrong direction because I went off to where it's the Hunter's March area, which is that bit you're talking about with the with
That's
the,
for the
the
red
plants.
bits. Yeah. Have you not made it to Greymore yet?
No.
Oh shit! Okay, I didn't think I'd played it for that long.
Obviously, these games are built with elements of like sequence breaking, sort of non-linear, ways of getting through them, and obviously that stuff is there for pros, which I am not. But yeah, a lot of us are stumbling into Hunter's March, and it's fucking horrible. Like, it's clear that first time you're supposed to take a whole other route and do a bunch of stuff before you go there.
Really? What were you supposed to do before you go there?
So I think you're supposed to do like Greymore, and then the sort of forest bit next to that, and then there's
no. How do you get to Greymore before Hunter's Marsh?
Quite easily.
Really?
I think that's the route you're supposed to take. But then I've reached a point after Greymore where some people are like, "Oh yeah, you're supposed to reach this certain section from another route," and I'm like, "How's that even possible?"
Oh, okay.
Which, and this is part of why the game is cool. Cause this is why it's tough to have to like cut off a section of the show and be like, "Oh, this is spoiler chat," because I feel like it's one of those games it's so big and so dense that like it's quite fun just to talk about stuff and find out stuff that other players have done that you didn't know was possible or you didn't know was in the game or whatever. But you know what people are like.
Oh, that's of course because you can get the floaty thing.
Yeah.
From you don't go to Hunter's March for that, do you?
No, you don't have to. No.
Shit. But I'm sure I did something in there that was essential for me to progress.
So I think you sort of skirt on the edge of Hunter's March on the way to getting the floaty thing.
Shit, I thought that was where I had to go next because I can't.
Yeah, I thought it is where I went next.
Good news. No, you can sack that right off.
So you've done the little jumpy guy that isn't a real boss, right?
No. Well, this is the thing because
the Cubone guy.
This is the thing. I've got through like all the like the flowery bits, and then I've ended up in a kill room now, and that's the bit I'm stuck on at the moment because it's the one where there's some assistance.
Yes,
but it's really.
I love that bit. That's fucking great.
That's very cool.
But I'm finding that really difficult because I'm just finding there's too much going on the screen.
There is too much going on. My only advice is keep to the corners. It really helps. Yeah. Sort of make sure that all of the enemies are ahead of you, and then you can't go wrong. When you do it, you'll go, "Why the fuck did I find that so hard?" It was. But yeah, no, that kill room's fucking great. I love it. Yeah, fuck. So a few questions. The character that you're playing, Hornet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's not the character you play in Hollow Knight, right?
No. So in Hollow Knight, you're not even the Hollow Knight, believe it or not. You just this name. I think people refer to him as the Player Knight because he's got no name. His whole thing is that he's got no information in his brain. Right? He's just an empty vessel. That is literally his thing. So like he doesn't speak. He doesn't. He just sort of what? Go on.
That was James Farley. They should have called it.
a bit unkind.
Welcome back.
So, because that's one thing that's a nice contrast in this is the fact that Hornet speaks, right? But yeah, Hornet is a supporting character. Initially, she's an antagonist in the original game, and you fight her a couple of times, and then basically she realizes what the player is doing is actually the correct course of action and ends up supporting him. So yeah, and then in this game, she's been sort of mysteriously captured by these pilgrims and brought.
Yeah, she's been captured, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Brought to this other land, and she didn't actually know where she is or what's going on or anything. So.
Okay. Cool. What are the shards for? I've maxed out on my shards, and I haven't got a fucking clue what they're for.
Are you not using? Do you not have any tools like weapons that you can throw or anything?
Oh yeah, I've got the spear thing. That's all I've got.
No, so that's different.
Another one.
So the spear uses your silk, which is the same thing you use to heal.
Yes.
But when you
there's nothing worse than when you are desperate for health and you accidentally throw the spear. It kills me.
I think it's how I accidentally like bind all the time. I'm like, fuck, I didn't need to use my silk and when I had like one bit of health. Depleted.
And this is another minor complaint. So you'll get these tools. So like you get like throwing knives, and then you get like traps you can throw down and stuff. you activate those by pressing up and the right bumper.
Oh yes, I've got some of them.
And
Yeah.
they use shards.
And as it currently stands, I don't do anything with the Y button in this game. So why couldn't the Y button have been the tool?
Maybe
button? I
you've
don't
got
know.
to do something with the Y button
maybe,
later.
maybe.
Yeah.
But I just felt like up and right bumper felt a bit weird. But
Yeah, it's a bit
whatever.
annoying. Yeah.
But yeah, so when you use those, so you only have so many. When
Yeah.
you then rest at a bench, you use the shards to refill those.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
That
but
said-
honestly, I use that
Yeah.
all the time.
Mhm.
However, I'm always maxed out at 400. Like
Correct.
I've always got
This is-
400.
I do feel like the economy's a bit fucked in this. Like, you'll always be full of shards, and you will never have any fucking
Beads.
rosary
The
beads.
rosary
which is
beads,
what you
yeah.
usually use to buy stuff. Like, obviously, because the rosary beads are what you drop when you die. Obviously, that's there to induce a bit of attention, but it's the difference between those two currencies is so stark. Yeah, weird.
I'm absolutely blown away that you can get to Greymore before Hunter's March.
Yeah, man.
That's wild to me. That's really excited me actually. I wonder if that's to my benefit or not. I feel like I've done some really tough bosses. I feel like I've flown through a few bosses. And I'd love to know like the proper order in how you're supposed to take them down.
Yeah, because there will be. Cause obviously, this is what's sort of exciting about it being released the way it has is that all the guides are still being written. So obviously, there's tons of here's 15 things I wish I knew before I started. Like I've just bought the map and yet I don't appear to have a map. What's that about? Because that isn't very well explained in the game.
No. Well, I got a map and it's just an outline, so I was like, what is that about?
Yeah. So yeah, but obviously in a few weeks we're gonna have the right. Here's probably the best order in sort of ascending difficulty, like where to how to do the areas. So it's interesting sort of seeing that stuff coming together in real time. But
Yeah, it feels like everyone's discovering it at the same time, which is those are the things we love. So on the rosary beads, you can buy something else that does it stop you losing them or stop?
Yes,
it stops
you can
you.
have them made into necklaces or strings of beads. Yeah, so basically there'll be certain shops or certain there's like machines you sort of come across that will do it. So basically you spend 80 of your rosary beads and you'll be given an item that is worth 60, but you won't drop it when you die. So you're essentially just spending the 20 to sort of immortalize those beads. So yeah, it's worth doing usually.
Yeah, and I bought the maps, but I still have to have the compass basically
that's really
assigned
helpful,
in order to. But if I don't have that, well, so if I don't have a compass assigned, I can use the map.
You can look at the map, but you
can
can't
still look at the map, but it won't tell you where you are.
And the map is ambiguous enough to be really hard to read.
Yeah, you can't zoom in either, can you?
Yeah, but the idea is if you're sort of once you've learned it, which you will, because you end up repeating so much of it, you will start learning it inside out, and then there'll become a point where you're like, well, maybe I don't need the compass. I can equip something else that's a bit more useful moment to moment. So it's.
You can also get an item that shows you where all the benches are in that area as well.
Yeah,
so
I've got that one.
That's really helpful for locating yourself on that map.
Yeah.
And the other thing you can buy is basically like just the ability to put a pin on the map. It's like or a marker on the map or whatever. Or can you put multiple markers? I assume.
Yeah, you can get like different.
Okay, cool. Yeah, when I first bought that stuff and then died, I was like, oh man, don't tell me I have to go back. But those things you buy, they're permanent, right?
Yeah, they're permanent.
Yeah.
But do they have a shelf life? Do they have do you have to repair compass
I don't think so.
or
No.
Is it weapons you have to repair? I heard about repairing things. I was
it's
like,
only
don't tell me I bought this stuff and I have to
Repairing
redo it.
weapons?
Yeah, it's only
only
those
the
tools
tools.
like the throwing knives and stuff. They're the only things that you have to use materials to replenish them.
But you buy a map, even if you buy a map and die, you don't have to go to so the benches, is it does the bench does save, right? Because a little icon appears.
Yeah,
okay, so so it's not like Dark Souls where it just actually it doesn't save. You still got to save on top of Dark Souls. This one you do.
Dark Souls, you still saved there, didn't you? It was just you had to select save. It was such a shitty.
But this one
thing to
automatically
do.
saves when you go to a bench, and all the enemies come back apart from certain ones that don't. Basically, right?
Yeah. So basically, the sort of animals or bugs rather come back. Well, most of them do, but then the pilgrims don't. Which I think the main thinking behind that is, well, it would probably feel weird from like a lore point of view, like the the people, inverted commas, just sort of regenerate. But I think it's mainly because they don't want you to be able to farm rosary beads too easily, because only they drop rosary
I know
beads.
the people respawn.
Not straight away. You have to
Yeah, they
like
do.
go away and come back.
So
yeah,
there's
just go to a bench and then they come back.
yeah, you go to when
no,
you go to
no,
a bench,
even if
they
you go to a
respawn.
bench, sometimes they don't come back straight away.
I've found them respawning all the time, to be honest with you, because that's how
Yeah,
I
same
was.
here.
I farmed a load of roseberry beads using that method, going in,
Okay, maybe
respawning, and then going back and killing them and stuff.
But
Maybe,
it-
yeah,
yeah.
it's not clear because it's also not clear what enemies are going to drop what, right? Because not all enemies drop those beads.
Well, no,
Some
it's
of them just
mostly,
drop shards.
it's mostly bugs. Seems to be mostly shards, and then it's like the more humanoid kind of stuff seems to be beads.
Yeah, because
yeah.
it's confusing it, because they're all bugs, but this is a world where some of the bugs have like human intelligence and some of them are animals. So yeah, it's basically the rosary beads are dropped by the bugs that were these pilgrims who've gone mad on their ascent, and that's why they carry rosary beads, because they're religious. Whereas the animals, not so much.
Yeah, but you know the dudes with the armor that have the armor, that area by the lava and that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, are they carrying them because they're mining them? That's what I assumed was
Good
going
question.
on.
Don't
Because
know,
they're all
'cause
like
they're
sort
not-
of working down
Yeah,
there.
because they're not pilgrims, are they? They're just workers.
No,
They're like-
I think they're mining them, right? And every time you kill one of them, I love those. I love those characters. All the enemies in that area, I fucking love. They're so funny. Like that. That's what it's like. Oh look, just it makes me laugh every time I'm down there.
Friend of the show, Cammy Toman, pointed out something really cool. So you know the pilgrim that you regularly run into is doing the singing with the little chimes, going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
fucking
it
great, love
Sherma? No, it was like
Oh,
that's
possibly,
someone
I
else.
can't remember the name. So Cammy pointed out, because yeah, so there's this story thread that pilgrims are all going up this mountain and they're losing their minds and going feral and just attacking people and stuff. Whereas not only is she all right, but as you're going through areas where she is, there'll be other people dotted around and they're okay while she's there. And when she moves on, they turn feral and they attack you.
Oh, of course, yeah. No, that's
So
a good
she
point.
is actually like that devout that she is sort of immune and is sort of able to
Calm them
sort
down.
of prevent other people from losing it. But
And yet she believed that her little song opened the gate when it was actually me doing it.
yes,
Yeah.
So
she's
come
not
on.
entirely
It was me.
but
It was me.
if it turns out that she turns later on in the game, I'll fucking delete it. By the way, I'm not having it.
Look,
So in the-
I'm. Go on.
In Horror Night, there wasn't NPCs or
There were
Or
NPCs.
were-
You just didn't talk. Like they would talk to you, but your character was completely
right. Okay.
silent. So it's quite nice that Hornet actually talks to people in this one.
And like side quests, like I've got them. I haven't done it yet. Like there's one about finding the fleas. There's one about finding. I've got 2 of the 3. You know, like the green berry things you
I got
get.
2
Someone
of those.
said
I don't know what they're for yet.
no. Well, I met someone who's like, I want 3 of these things, and if you do, then something about wishes. I'm not sure, but yes, I need to find some fleas as well. But
Yeah. Worth doing.
they're good fun.
Yeah, and you're saying that this is definitely a step up in difficulty over the first game, right?
I would say so. That said, obviously it's been like 7 years since I played the last one. Getting old.
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe that's a factor, either
I think
in
it
terms
might
of skill
be.
level or just patience.
Definitely.
Yeah. Who knows?
I'm interested to play more. We've talked this one to death. Like literally, we've talked for way too long about Silksong, but I mean, it's taken a long time to come out, really. So I'm sure we'll be talking about it again next week for those of you that are interested. James, let's get to the list of games that you've got left.
I've got a load of games, and it's annoying because it's like I don't know. I don't want to go on about them too much because it feels like we've already talked loads about most of these. I mean, I finished Donkey Kong Bonanza, which when I say finished, I mean like 100%. I got.
It is insane that you 100%ed that game because
Why?
there's so much to there's so much to collect. It's
Yeah, but it's-
absolutely nuts.
I know, but it's the thing is I got into a really nice rhythm of it, which I really enjoyed. Like, I mean, I was sitting there, because this thing is, I played it mostly on the flight, like when I was like flying out to China, and it felt so good, like just to find everything, like because what you do is you do like you just have to get like the maps and stuff like that, and then it shows you like generally where the locations of stuff is. So it's not really terribly difficult. But what's fun about it is then like having to explore to try and actually and figure out how to like get through the terrain or whatever to get to them, which can sometimes be a challenge. But one of the things that I think is also really good with this is the skill tree, which I think is excellent in this. And the reason I think it's really good is because it lets you prioritize the kind of way that you want to play the game to a degree, but it's also it teases the fact that you're going to actually need all of this by the end to be able to like do the challenges that it has towards the end of the game, because in the post game it does start to get seriously significantly more difficult, I would say, and much more challenging. But once you've unlocked like all the transformations, and once you've like fully upgraded them, it's all completely doable. And that's why I didn't find the game that difficult at all. But one of the things that I liked about it, which I think edges this for me over Astrobot, is that what was really cool about Astrobot was the fact that you had each like sort of level had a kind of like a gimmick attached to it, right? Like you had like there was like some new tool or whatever that you're using to like get through that level, which was great. But with this, it's like the transformations, you can use them at any time. And it's very much sort of like Tears of the Kingdom in the sense of like you can use those to break the game, but it's clearly intended that it's like that. As in, like, they've thought about the fact that that you can actually use these powers anywhere that you want, and it still works. Like, it always still works. And that's why I think this is fantastic, because the design on the levels is incredible, I think. It really is. And this is why I thought it's like the powers feel really flexible and not gimmicky, and that's what I thought was brilliant about it. And yeah, I mean, I agree with you that the post-game, it's not as good as Odyssey. There was a point where I was beginning to think this is up there with Odyssey. But then it doesn't quite reach it, I don't think. And mostly because there's like a fair bit of repetition, I think, as it, particularly towards the end. And also like the reward you get for 100%ing it is totally underwhelming and like completely like, what was the point of that? But I enjoyed the journey. I still thought I had a great time with it. And yeah, I just think it's fantastic. I think it's one of the best games that Nintendo have released for quite a long time. And I mean, I was so skeptical before this came out because I'm not generally a fan of Donkey Kong, but this is.
I know. He's like, fucking hate Donkey Kong.
Well, it's because I don't think that the rare ones are very good.
You're wrong. Donkey Kong Country games are fun. I don't know where you're coming up with that.
I keep meaning to revisit because I never played 2 and 3, and I gather they're more fondly thought of than the original.
No, I think I think 2 is very fondly thought of. I still think number 1 is like the one that people refer back to, isn't it?
I don't know.
Sure it is.
Can't remember.
Could be wrong.
Oh, well, Jashiel's in the chat says 2 is brilliant, 3 is a bit shite.
No.
3 was what was it? Trixie Kong. Was it that one?
And the
Pixie Kong, that's it. Yeah. All right.
So then the other thing I played while I was away was a game which people probably may know, which was it's 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim, which is, I mean, I've had this on my like backlog for ages because I've heard loads of praise for it because it's a visual novel style game which is combined with like tactical like strategy game as well. So it's like the game is split into 2 parts. You have the visual novel sections and then you have the tactical battles. And the premise of the game is the usual thing of it's school kids piloting robots to stop an invasion. It's like it's the same thing again. But the whole point is that there's these 13 protagonists in the game that have these interlinking like non-linear stories. So what you do is you spend time with a character in the visual novel side of things, which is like a sort of a side-scrolling chat with people, unlock conversations with them, and then you shift later on to the strategy battles, which are taking place at a different time, and the whole story is told in a completely sort of disjointed and non-linear way, and like you can't for the 13 characters you have to you can only do up to certain points with some of them before you then have to play as another character to unlock further bits with other ones. And so the story progression is super fragmented because you're looking at this from different character perspectives, but it takes ages to like get through each one. It's extremely dialogue heavy as well. And I became quite exhausted after about 10 hours of playing this because I was just like, there's too many characters here that I don't particularly care about. And it also feels like it's coming to a conclusion at this point, and this was after 10 hours. And then it wasn't. It was a further 10 hours on from that to actually finish it. And it was one of those games where I really was getting close to the point of like, I don't think I'm going to actually continue with this. But I didn't have anything else to play at this point because I just finished Donkey Kong, still waiting for Shinobi to come out. And I was like, well, I might as well like push on with it. The whole point of the reason that people say this is brilliant is that because of the fact that all the multiple stories like eventually all come together, and it's supposedly like very satisfying the way that it weaves the whole story together, despite the fact that it's all being told in this sort of non-linear way, and there's supposed to be this amazing like big reveal. I didn't feel that because I thought the big reveal was quite predictable, and I'd already figured it out after like 10 hours what it was going to be. So then I was just sort of treading water, getting through this quite turgid dialogue, I thought, as it went through.
A damning review.
Yeah, and mostly because I found the characters were largely unlikable. I didn't care about any of them like particularly at all. And the story sections, they just feel really tedious and padded out. And the other problem is that each of the story sections for the main characters, it does the thing where like there's branching paths, right? But it's often not entirely clear where these branching paths are going, and so it's quite difficult to unlock them sometimes. So some of them you end up going around in a loop repeatedly, until you can try and figure out what the unlock is, to try and move the story on. I just thought it was really boring and not very interesting. It looks brilliant. It looks like absolutely incredible, but I just found it was like overly complex with a payoff that I didn't care about was the problem. The best bit of the game was the strategy stuff, which I was expecting to hate. It's basically like a top-down tower defense game. That's really what you're playing, and it looks incredible. Like all these like massive, sort of like flashing explosions and stuff like that. It looks brilliant because it's all kind of like wireframe, like sort of like graphics. So it looks really really nice. But yeah, the general story though really boring, and I don't think it was very good. I thought it was pretty poor.
That's a shame because, as you say, it is, critically did really well. I've owned it on the Switch for a while. Like one day, I'm really going to crack into that. Everyone says it's fucking brilliant. Apart from my friend James, who thought it was shit.
I thought it was quite boring and overly pretentious and not very good. But yeah,
fair enough.
The only other thing I played was Shinobi. Which I agree with pretty much everything you said because I thought it was fantastic. And
you finished it?
Yeah, I finished it. Yeah.
Oh wow.
But I got to the point where because I finished it, I got through the main game, and then I was like, I know I can now go back and do all these other levels as well, and unlock everything. I haven't done that, and the reason being is because I went back to one section. I was like, "This is quite difficult, actually." Now, what it's asking me to do is quite difficult. And I was like, "I know I've got Silksong coming, and I don't want to use up my anger on this at the moment, knowing that knowing that Silksong's going to be the whole game's going to be like this." Yeah, and I was like, I don't want to exhaust myself on this before I go to Silksong. So I've put this now away, and it's like I might go back at some point after I finish Silksong or whatever like that. But I just didn't at the moment. I don't feel like I want to go through the post game sort of like
that Neo City level is so fucking good.
Yeah,
really fucking perfect. And what I loved about it is that it was so Sega and it didn't give a shit. Like there are bits where you're climbing skyscrapers and at the top is a huge Sega sign. Like it's that blunt with it.
Because this is the thing, because I sent you a screenshot of it and I was like, because I sent you that and I was like, David, like I don't know if you're going to play this, but this is incredible. Like this, it looks brilliant. Yeah, I think you replied to me and said, "Yeah, I'm already playing it." That's
right. And then there's a big sign up there that says Legends, and it's got some, people who work. I'm assuming it's Sega executives, which is a bit weird actually thinking about it now. But I'm assuming it's Legends within the industry. And it's just all that stuff is just plastered all over this game, and it just constantly puts a smile on your face.
Yeah,
Yeah, Dreamcast, all of that stuff is really fucking cool. Amazing that they released a Shinobi game in 2025 and it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, it just shows you just how mad this year is. Even games like Shinobi, you're like, fuck me, what am I gonna do with my life now?
Because I posted on Blue Sky like the day before Silksong came out, and I was like, never thought that on the day before Silksong comes out, I'd be thinking, I wonder if it's as good as that new Shinobi game.
No, it's nuts, isn't it? It's nuts. I'm glad you enjoyed it though. It's not that long, right? It's quite a short game.
Yeah, I think probably I finished the main run through in about 7 or 8 hours. I think.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. I'm gonna play that. I've got to finish it because I was enjoying it so much before Hollow Knight.
Mm-hmm.
So I will definitely go back to it, and I'm glad to hear that it sticks to the landing.
It absolutely does. Yeah.
Cool. Right, we are quite late in. We will do a few questions. Oh my god, there are so many questions.
There are so many questions. Do you know what? We'll do a couple, and should we just say
and then
now?
save the next.
Don't worry about sending any for next week, and we'll just because there's loads I want to do here.
All right.
If you want to send it, well, no, I won't even do that. I won't even do that bit. I won't tell you where to go. I'm not doing it.
That's completely contradicting yourself.
This is one that's been sat in the form for James for like 4 weeks because they sent it as soon as he went on holiday and have been saving it for him. This comes from Shepherd's Pie. This is a question for James regarding his ongoing love of the shepherd's pie. It's been a good 10 years since the last time I had one, and given that you keep mentioning it, I'm starting to think this is something missing from my life. Do you have any recommendations for pubs or restaurants who serve this British staple, or if you'd only personally consider your home-cooked version, then I would love a cook-along stream, perhaps with the rest of the gang in tow. Love the show and keep on keeping on. Shep.
I mean, I don't think it's sold in any pubs or restaurants, is it? I've never seen
It
it.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course it will be. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, maybe pubs. I've never seen it in a restaurant.
Yeah.
Maybe not a restaurant, no, but
You know.
you can still find them.
Pub grub.
But I'll tell you what you could do. Like, if you all come over to for Gamescom, I'll cook you up a shepherd's pie while you're all here.
Cannot wait.
I don't eat it, so get me a pizza or something. Pepperoni, please.
When you say you don't eat
No
it,
chance.
this is on religious grounds.
Sure.
Yeah, okay, fine. Next question comes from Smooth Monkey, who says a situation has occurred where Channel 4 are reviving Games Master again, and the four of you are the finalists to be chosen to be the new Games Master. To be the new Games Master, you must be able to give out hints to players to help them when they're stuck in games. It all comes down to this. You've been asked to give your best game hint or tip, and the one who gives the best will become the new Games Master. What hint do you give?
Can I start with James?
Yeah, can I give the cheats for Sonic 2 on the Mega Drive? If you go to the sound test and you type in 1965, 9 and 17, and that gives you the level select. Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, I was going to do Sonic. Is it Sonic 1 up, down, left, right, A, and start?
Yeah.
That was the one I was going to do for
That's
because cheats aren't really a thing as much these days, are they? But
No.
And
sadly.
do you
That
know
was
the
burnt
debug
in.
code, Matt, for that?
oh yeah, too. Well, I don't remember, but you can add loads of tellies and all sorts of stuff, can't you?
Yeah, if you I think it was like up C, down C, left C,
Up C,
right
down,
C.
left C, right C. Yeah,
Yeah, then you could it brings up the debug.
you can
stuff.
basically hack the game.
Yeah.
If only that stuff's still in.
Oh, was it? It was one of the Syndicate games. It might have been Syndicate Wars, where the cheat. If you had basically to get the cheat mode, you had to make a new profile and call it Max Harpoo. That was a good one. SimCity on the SNES. Don't build any roads, just build train lines. You can just replace all the roads with train lines and just everything works much better. I don't know if that was like an intentional statement or a bug, but it fucking works.
I've got two.
Sorry,
Am I allowed
Ben in the
to?
chat. Sorry, no, Syndicate was Poo Slice. Oh, which one was Max Harpoo? I'm going to have to look this up now.
Is this a dream you had, Sean?
Probably, yeah. Max Harpoo. Gee, sorry, Dave, go on.
I would either the legitimate one would be telling the tip on how to kill the ceaseless discharge in
Oh, yeah, that's a
Dark
good one.
Souls. It is a good one.
Good one.
It's like when you know that, people that fought it legitimately must just be fuming, absolutely fuming. And people are having the same reaction with that certain boss in Silksong.
I was going to say, there's a boss in Silksong that I completely cheesed, like in a way that is definitely getting patched out.
I've seen that. I've seen that. No, I'm talking about another one that we mentioned earlier.
Is it a red one?
I think it.
Where
No,
feel like it's nearly, but we're getting tripped up by this boss.
No, that's something else. No, there's one that has like a little trick to halve the length of the fight, and we sort of stumbled across it, even though it's really fucking obvious that that's what you're supposed to do. I've been watching like loads of people doing it legitimately and just thinking, fucking hell, you wasted so much time. I'll talk to you about it afterwards. But yeah, Caesar's Discharge, where you, for those of you that don't know, you activate it, run away from it as quick as you can. Then when it jumps at you, you just stab its hand once and it falls down into the pit of lava rather than fighting it for ages. The other one is if you type dirty into the menu of Dynamite Ducks, the characters appear nude. So
that's nice. That's what you want. Yeah. Max Arpoo was Destruction Derby 2.
Oh,
there you go. I was getting my poo
brilliant
cheat codes mixed up. What was CJ's Elephant Antics on the C64? You had to type in hairy arseholes. That's a good one.
There's your episode.
Yeah.
Moving on, Clark says, what do you think is the smelliest video game? Blighttown from Dark Souls comes to mind as a solid choice, but I'm pretty sure by the midpoint in Metal Gear Solid, Snake is getting pretty ripe. Go on, lads, which game stinks?
I mean, I don't want to keep saying Dark Souls, but that fucking game.
Yeah, 100%.
But that stinks.
I feel like we always... You know, like how so many games will have like a bit in.
You already said Dark Souls. I was looking up the cheat code to Dynamite Ducks, and I totally missed the fact that you mentioned Blighttown, the Dark Souls. I think Dark Souls actually, or actually maybe the midpoint in Metal Gear Solid. Actually, I think it might do suggestions. Sorry,
any game with a
Clark.
sewer section, we just sort of skim past the fact that it was full of human shit and piss.
Final Fantasy, yeah.
Yeah,
or,
chapter 16 would be a disaster of that.
Fucking hell, The Last of Us. I bet that game fucking reeks. Yeah, and the main game that we know legitimately stinks is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, right? Because you do anything in that game and enter a town, everyone's like, fucking hell.
Have a wash, mate.
Yeah, didn't Red Dead Redemption 2 did that as well, didn't it? Like, if you didn't shower for a number of days or whatever, you would start seeing flies around your character, like in cutscenes and stuff.
Tell you to go away and have a wash. We'll make this the last one. This is time sensitive, so it's worth reading out now. It comes from Darren. It says, in a few weeks, I'm going to need a minor operation, which grants me 2 weeks of home rest and time off work. I'm not supposed to leave the house or do exercise. By my maths, this gives me at least 60 hours of undisturbed free time while everyone is at school and work. Having 3 kids and 2 jobs, I've often drifted from longer games before I finish them, so my backlog has become a graveyard of must-play titles that I keep meaning to go back to. With that in mind, which of the below titles would you start fresh, knowing that you will have the time to really dig into them undisturbed? Or should I just ignore the backlog and get Kingdom Come Deliverance? The options are Red Dead 2, Cyberpunk, Death Stranding, God of War Ragnarok, and GTA 5.
Oh my god, what a list of...
I think there's an easy answer though here for me. Anyway.
I've got an easy answer, but I think you've got the wrong one. Go on.
I mean, I'd go Red Dead 2.
Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. Red Dead 2 is the one. Yeah, that's the answer. Sean's going to say Cyberpunk. You're wrong.
I'm going to say Cyberpunk.
Red Dead 2.
Thank you.
Is the better game.
I mean, because Kingdom Come Deliverance is a good idea, but you're not going to finish it in 60 hours.
No. And you might spend 20 of those hours being like, what were they talking? This is shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I go for Red Dead. Like, definitely.
Red Dead 2 is the one. Fuck me, what a game.
Cyberpunk.
No.
I mean, there's no wrong answer here, right? I think it's more what sort of setting.
Oh yeah, GTA 5.
What setting are you into?
Do you know what was good about that? For a moment, Sean was going to go for me, and then he remembered that I'm a bell end, and that's what I do. And then he giggled instead. That's what happened.
I was like, he doesn't mean. No, he doesn't mean that. Okay.
Darren, enjoy that time. Play Red Dead Redemption 2. It's fucking incredible. Oh my god, I wish I could go through that all again. I got like halfway through a second playthrough at one point. And then something
I don't think I could, like knowing how it.
No, that's what
Darren might
makes.
play it in a minute.
Not only that, The latter part of that game, I was heading towards the end, and I wish I stopped and did more exploration towards, like, after events had happened. And there is still stuff. There's still stuff coming out about that game that is unbelievable. I don't know if you've seen the current trend of throwing a stick of dynamite before entering a cutscene. Fucking so funny. It's so good. And then there's also like real action sequences that are put together with how fucking wild the control system was of that game. It all works like an actual fucking film at times, and you just think, holy shit, this was made it. It was so good. It kills me. It wasn't a game of the year. I thought I'd be over that after the last Gotti show. I'm not. Is that it?
That is it.
Are we done? Matt, do you want to do socials?
Yes, it's quick these days because we don't really stream, but we stream a show live on Twitch every Monday, twitch.tv/TCGSco. The streams that we have done in the past, and this show are also on YouTube, youtube.com/@TCGS. But you can just go to tcgs.co, and there's links there to our Patreon, our Strava Club, which obviously is going to be quite busy this week. Ahead of the run on Saturday, our Tatton Park Just Giving page, we're raising money for Special Effect. Discord, Blue Sky accounts, store is all on tcgs.co.
And we will catch you next week for some more video game chit chat. Is it good to be back, James?
It's really nice. It's very nice.
No, I want to say this to you, James. Thanks for living it. We will catch you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.